Tonight on the Black Channel, say it ain't so, Roland, say it ain't so. I know none of you had this on your bingo card for this weekend. I certainly didn't know it was going to be on mine, but it would be sheer negligence if I didn't discuss this. So, for those of you who may not be aware, this is just rolling in here. Tasha K on Twitter. Tasha K on Twitter has said that she posted this once yesterday and then an update today. I said, I'm not going to say anything just yet. I've been sitting around waiting. But it's absolutely insane that I just received stills from a video allegedly showing Roland Martin inside a woman's home, not his wife's, laid out on her bed, appearing to be what? Damn! The fact that cameras are set up in the room, the fact that he allegedly sent her pictures of himself in a G-string. Okay, if you gave out pictures, wait a second now, when you give out pictures, oh boy. Oh, so no, they didn't hack the phone. Okay. The fact that he allegedly sent her pictures of himself in a G-string.
Nigga, what?
This is only the beginning. I wish I could unsee this. Ah! Yeah, we've reached out to his team and are waiting on a response. Everything is allegedly. Even my name is allegedly. Okay. Well, she had a follow-up, y'all. She had a follow-up and said, update, Roland Martin's team has confirmed to my team that the stills that I received of him appearing naked in a woman's home that's not his wife are 100% authentic. He says he is being extorted. He also proposed that he would be suing if we or any other blog disseminates these hilarious ass images. These are her words, not mine, although I can believe it. These hilarious ass images of him appearing to be in a leopard print thong.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
Okay. So, yes, indeed, folks, this image here, this is not one of the images, by the way. Before Roland starts to get very scared, Roland, before you start getting terrified, brother, no, this is not one of the pictures. This is AI. So, this is not the particular thong you were wearing at the time. This is too big to be one of those. Those would be boxers, I believe, So it's not that kind of situation. Y'all, what the hell has Roland gotten himself into? First of all, I was just like the rest of you. When I heard about this, I was just like the rest of you. I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked to hear that it was a woman. What? Damn. What? Yeah, when I heard it was a woman involved, that shocked me. I was like, it wasn't a guy? It was a woman? I'm just like the rest of you. When I heard it was a woman, I'm like, this has got to be fake news. This has got to be fake news. They said it was a woman. I'm not sure about this. That don't even sound right. So like many of the rest of you, that was the perspective I came at this from when I first heard that. I was in stunned disbelief when I heard the allegations that there was a female involved. I was like, that's not the way this really works because, and by the way, somebody in the chat room is already ahead of me, but stay tuned, sports fans. Oh, trust me, this is not all comic relief tonight. I'm doing this for a reason. Because we can all remember this particular video right here from the Roland Martin program that has never been explained, by the way. never been explained of how that ended up Oh, Roland was nutting up that day, wasn't he? Yeah, buddy, he still has not explained that damn video popping up like that, so they cut from CNN to him, and it's... Yeah, next time Roland talk about go to his iPad. Yeah. Jump scare when Roland talks about going to his iPad. It's like, oh, wait a minute, Roland. Did you make sure the iPad is safe for work? Did you make sure the iPad is safe for work, Roland? Because, yeah, you liable to just jump up and do some stuff. We got to make sure it's safe for work, Roland. Yeah. So, yeah, when I hear accusations that there was a woman involved, I'm like, okay, are y'all sure about this? Are you sure? Did you confirm that part? Because there's some women out here who ain't really women, but they claim they women. So there's some women out here claim they were born men, but that they've since gotten that corrected. So I'm just trying to confirm that right there. So I know y'all, we're only 5 minutes in today, and it's just like y'all are like, man, what the hell? We're only 5 minutes in, and y'all like, what the hell? But in any case, yeah, y'all, Roland is going through it. Y'all thought the damn Sprinter van flipping over was the worst thing that happened. What? Oh, Roland's going through it, y'all. Roland is going through it. Roland, say it ain't so. Say it is not so, Roland. Say that you didn't get Chud the Buildered. Damn! Oh, folks, say it ain't so, Roland. Say you tell us you wasn't on video getting butt broken, Roland. Say it. I mean, the video is. I'm not tripping on that. I'm not tripping on that part, Roland. We ain't tripping on the video part. But you got to come out and deny this. Roland, whoever the chick is, that's between you and your whoa. It's hard for me to say he got a woman. What? This is tough for me to say. Oh, I'm like, I can't even let that. I don't even know I can say that right there. I'm like, him and woman in the same sentence. No, but Roland, we ain't tripping on that. You don't have to explain any of this. You are not required to justify, explain, dispute, debate, conflict, debunk a single word of this, except for that last part on that first paragraph. Roland, you have to dispute this. Roland, you don't have to address anything else except this last part. You do need to address this. Laid out on the bed appearing to be, oh man, yeah, Roland, you have to address that. That part right there. Everything else, we ain't worried about that. That's between you and old gal, assuming that that's really a biological gal. The two of y'all can do whatever y'all do there. But yeah, this last part here, Roland, you do need to dispute this. Oh, brother, you can't let that one go. You have to say that part's a lie. Oh, Roland, tell me you are not on video. You and a mop, Roland, okay, tell me this did not occur. You cannot, no, that can't be real right there. No, tell me you were chasing her around the house with a butcher knife like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Say that, but no, not this here. No, not this part. Yeah, Roland, you can't be another Andrew Gillum. What? Damn! No, Roland, you can't. The Democrats can't take another Andrew Gillum, Roland.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, y'all, Roland can't get caught in an Andrew Gillum scenario. No, Roland. No, you cannot allow that to occur. It can't be you and Diggum Low Gillum. No. I'm trying to help, Roland, so no, you don't have to address any of this. I don't give a damn what you was doing there, except this last part needs to be debunked. You need to argue against that. You need to make it very clear, yeah, that didn't happen. No, that did not occur. You need to clear that part up. The rest of this is none of our business. This last part right here, that's not our business either, but you would be well advised to clear that up. Oh, you'd be well advised to clear it up. So, yeah, man. Y'all, old Roland Martin, they're accusing him of getting caught in the OnlyFans moment. What? So somebody said he's having fraternity flashbacks.
Damn!
Oh boy, the paddle. I mean, was he blindfolded? Was she a dominatrix? Has she been a woman her whole life?
Nigga, what?
And by the way, extorting him. Let me get that back up here. Roland extorting you. What the hell is she gonna extort you for? Your 1987 Volkswagen Beetle? What does she extort? Y'all, what is there to extort Roland from? She found the wrong nigga for that. If she wanted the bag, oh, how bad is your life as a woman if the only nigga you can extort is damn me Roland Martin?
Nigga, what?
Oh, y'all, as a female, that is vaginal mismanagement. If the highest value man that you have available to try to extort, okay, Cassie had Diddy, that white girl has Shannon Sharp. Baby, do you know how bad your life has been? The only one you got is Roland Martin?
Oh, please.
Oh, this is terrible, ma'am. Let me take you to the side so we can discuss how you've been living your existence. Roland is he was the one you want to extort. Roland. This was the highest value man you ever laid in bed with Roland Martin? Not even like Dougie Fresh? You know, the Sugar Hill Gangs? You didn't get Roland Martin? I mean, she didn't even get a former athlete, baby. Roland Martin? This is the best you could do? Yeah, what the hell is she gonna extort him for? All them 4X t-shirts? Yeah, y'all, what is she gonna extort him for? A whole damn closet of 4X and 5X t-shirts? A bunch of multicolored dashikis? A bunch of old great big ass Q-Dog and Alpha fraternity sweaters? What are you extorting him for, ma'am? You didn't do any research. Oh, she didn't do any opposition research whatsoever. Oh, baby, look here. I got bad news for this extortion. She says she gonna extort Roland Martin. Baby, I got bad news for you. What the hell are you planning to extort? Yeah, y'all, she dug up the wrong one. Roland, this what the hell your ass get for all that damn popping your collar, acting like you had the bag. Okay, well, here they come. She about to get it the hard way here when she finds out what really ain't going on. She gonna be mad as hell, because that's probably how he got her to say yes. When she finds out, oh, baby, no. The only bag this nigga got's a trash bag. No, ma'am, that Volkswagen Beetle out front, that's the whip. I know what he told you. Now, that's the whip right there. Yeah, man, these fellas sit up here and talk these old silly chicks in the bed, and then the chicks get angry later. She's sitting up here biting her lip. I can't believe I laid up with Roland Martin. And then she's like, okay, I got to get something out of this. And she's like, okay, well, cameras are rolling. Look here, nigga, it's a stick up. Give me what you got. And I'm like, oh, ma'am, give you what he got. I mean, he's got a PlayStation 2 over here. Yeah, I think he's got some Flintstones coasters over there. What? Yeah, baby, you chose, of all the people in media that you could have chose, you chose the wrong one. Oh, somebody said he's got an iPad. Damn! He does have an iPad now. It's got some sketchy material on it. You might want to clear that SSD drive off. It's got some sketchy material on there, so you might want to delete all that first and do a reset first. You might want to do that. But yeah, don't just. She thought she had the bag. Y'all, there's some silly ass chick out there thinks she got the bag. No, I don't believe he's married. No, you're gonna have to prove that one to me. Who the hell gonna marry Roland? You're gonna have to prove this one to me. I'm in disbelief. I'm disbelieving this whole damn thing. I'm not believing this. So. No, Roland needs to come and clear up some of this. I mean, in a leopard print thong, I'm like, okay, she better be embellishing that part. But we can let that one slide, Roland. We'll even let the leopard skin G-string slide, Roland. This is how generous we're gonna be with you. We're gonna let the leopard print G-string slide, but this first sentence up here, laid out on the bed appearing to be okay, Roland, yeah, you got to come clear this up, bruh. No, you can't let that one linger in the atmosphere. You have to dispel that one. You got to debunk that one. Don't let that sit. Don't let that one sit. Not at all. Not at all. That is not what you want to be doing. Oh, y'all, we got some Roland Martin fans here today. That's fine by me. I don't mind that. No, we got some folks here being a little fruit booty about it. So since somebody wants to question me, I'm so glad you said that. We're going to get you up here front and center. You got 2 minutes, or you is BANNED. So if you're getting a little tender booty about it, pause. You picked the wrong damn night for it. So don't get mad at me. All right, let me go ahead and throw this up here right quick. Just for somebody in the chat room got questions for me. We're going to go ahead and give them a way to go ahead and get that off their chest right now. We're messing up their heroes over here. But yeah, y'all, Roland's in a tough spot. Roland's in a tough spot right now. We don't even know what's going on. Here. Yeah, man. They're having issues. He needs to come clear this damn appearing to be. Yeah, Roland, you got to clear this up. You can't let that linger, man. You got to clear it up. You got to. You cannot let that sit there. Because you'll be sitting next to other dudes and they'll be wondering. So, Roland, you don't want to be sitting next to other dudes and they'll be wondering. We got to get that cleared up. We got to get that part right there. Everything else, the woman, the leopard G-string, the cameras, the pictures, all that's to the side. This last part here, though, laid out on the bed appearing to be, yeah. That part right there, though, yeah. You need to give a debriefing. About that. Yeah, because you got too many folks out there. Everybody ain't living like y'all doing, so if you do not straighten this out, yeah, everybody ain't living that Q-Dog frat life. So you got to explain some of this. Because you see, Roland, otherwise we start to see a pattern. Now, there's the problem that I have with it. We've gotten some good jokes at your expense, Roland, but this next part, I assure you, is no laughing matter. You have some questions you need to be asking yourself tonight, Roland. Hey, everyone. You know, I originally wanted to call tonight's program, Did Roland Martin Get Epsteined?
And deal with it, nigga.
Now, that's what I originally wanted to call the program tonight. Because y'all got to understand something. See, Roland has been barking back at the DNC just a little bit. And they're on shaky ground right now. So a person has to ask themselves, hey, Roland, are you sure this is just between you and whoever that chick or dude is? Are you sure this is just between you and them? Or did you get Epsteined? Is there a file on all you Democrat niggas?
And deal with it, nigga.
Oh, y'all, I ain't bull jiving with that. Hey, Roland, you know, in this age of the Epstein files, you know, this would certainly explain a hell of a whole lot, now wouldn't it? I told y'all, I'm not going where you all might think I'm going. Yeah, once we get through with the laughing and the giggling, and there's plenty to laugh and giggle about, don't get me wrong. Hey, y'all, there's a file on, what this tells you is, wait a minute, so there's a file on all them Democrat niggas? There's blackmail on all them Democrat niggas? There's pictures. Folks, it's not allegations. They're telling you, oh, nigga, we got pictures. We got footage. And if you keep getting flipped at the lip, if you don't toe the damn line, if you keep sitting up here getting too damn slick at the mouth and acting like you gonna tell us something, nigga, we might tell you something. You think we need to come explain ourselves to you because you think you gonna come bum some money off of us every damn year? You're whining and moaning about bumming some money. Well, look here. How about we show you we got some of these pictures, and is that gonna shut you up? Trying to bum some dollars off of us? Talking about we need to explain ourselves to you. You need to go explain to all these folks out here about what you do when the lights go down. You worry about that. I'm just asking questions right now, y'all. I'm just asking questions. That, by the way, whenever the Democrats lose and didn't pay Roland nothing, he likes to get slick at the mouth and act like he's channeling his inner Jason Black. And I'm like, yeah, but the difference is, these niggas ain't, well, y'all, I'll let the rest of that see for itself. But in any case, yeah, Roland. For everybody out there wondering, Jason, is this a serious thing? Oh, absolutely. This is a very serious thing. This is a very serious thing. Yeah, y'all, is the timing is too convenient here? The timing is too convenient? Am I the only one who notices that? Am I the only one who noticed that, by the way, so this drops in the middle of this atmosphere? And then you find out, I'll be damned, so all these people on CNN, all these niggas connected to the Democrats, yeah, for you to get in, what you got to do to be in, what kind of person you got to do to be in. They don't let in nothing but broken niggas. A bunch of men who shaved their legs and waxed their... I'm going to leave that alone. Barack Obama and Andrew Gillum, all these dudes got dudes who like, hey, I can tell you what your president looked like naked. What do you have to do to be a Democrat? What do you have to do to get them to open them doors for you? You got to open them.
Damn! What? Damn!
All right. I got to be careful tonight. I can't say too much. I can't say it how I really want to say it. But all I'm telling y'all is that this does open an ominous new door, doesn't it? And first of all, how many of us are surprised? Is there anybody here shocked? Here's people be sitting around shocked. It's like, no, this is what you have to do. No, we weren't making it up. We said he was always sassy. No, we're not. Hey, Roland, you can clear this up very quickly and just say, hey, that stuff is fake. There is no video showing you doing that. Well, yeah, I was in the room with another woman here, and there I've been chips, dips, and chains and whips, and it might have been Rick James, freaky, but yeah, wasn't nobody sitting up here taking me for a ride. I wasn't on the pole.
Damn!
Yeah, Roland Martin, you can clear this up real quick and just say, okay, everything else is true, but hey, I wasn't on the pole. Because these folks saying you was on the pole, Roland. And with that being out there, it's like, okay, now there's some folk trying to run cover. And before you even do that, nigga, I'm ready. Oh, well, this is old stuff. Oh, so in other words, from the Epstein era, you mean? Oh, you mean from the Epstein era, which has been the last 40 years, but even if you try the, well, that's old stuff, by the way, so what you're saying is, yeah, just like everything else in the Epstein files. Yeah, they had your chip, they had their peg on you years ago. If you try that one, you can go ahead and try it, but yeah, y'all, these political parties, they know what they do. They're not going to give you an in unless you some damn degenerate freak. They ain't going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to sit up here and give you no opening like that. No. They want to make sure they got the goods on you. They're not going to hand you a microphone and you could go rogue. They're not going to hand you a microphone so you can go rogue. This the kind of nigga you got to be for the Democrats and Donna Brazile and Hillary Clinton to come ringing your phone. That's what you got to do. You got to do that. There's a reason why fellas like me ain't never gonna be in them circles. Y'all think I'm about to be standing there with Andrew Gillum and Barack Obama and some big strong men's and they talking about, all right, Jason, Barack Obama. Okay, Jason, we've taken a vote here. We've decided that we're going to go ahead and give you some access. You just have to give us some access. And once you do that, and you know, you'll be invited to our parties and our champagnes and cocktail parties, and you know, and the James Clyburn private fish fry.
Nigga, what?
Yes. Oh, we didn't tell you about that? Yeah, James Clyburn has the fish fry. Clyburn has the fish fry, and then he has the private fish fry. And everybody, the general public, goes to the fish fry. But you, Jason, if you play ball, wink, wink, you'll get a ticket to the private fish fry. Yeah, y'all, I'm not going to the public private VIP overseas, I'm not doing it. I can't be there. I can't be there. However, there's a bunch of other folk obviously got their tickets. They've obviously got their tickets. So there's a reason why. No, I'm not a part of the old black media. I'm not a part of the old black media, and I'm not on my way. I'm not part of the old black media, and I'm not on my way. I'm not on my way, and I'm not going. So, Roland, if Tasha is lying on you, you need to clear this up quick, fast, and in a hurry. Oh, Roland, if she lying, you got to start suing immediately. You can't wait through the weekend. You need to be on the phone with your lawyers right now. You need to stop what you're doing and call the lawyers right now, because this just better be false, because if it isn't, this explains everything. If this is not false, particularly the end of this first sentence, if that's not false, that explains everything. I don't know if it explains how you got on the Tom Joyner show.
What? Damn!
But I will say that, it sure as hell would explain everything that we've seen. It would explain all that, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? I'm just saying. Who are these people that they send out here? Who are these people who pretend that they're going to speak for the soil? Why is it that they can sit in front of Richard Spencer and he says, "You're black, aren't you?" And they say, "I'm a man," which now is very much in dispute. Why? Who are these people that these political parties keep elevating? What did they really do to get in their positions? I'm talking about communication positions, status positions, not, Oh, come on now. Folks, these political parties don't give you access if they don't have a way to shut you down. What do you all think that the Epstein files were about? You can't have access if they don't have an immediate way to shut your ass down. If they don't already have the goods on you, Kamala Harris just got to roll with the program. It's like, baby, we got you on video with guys and gals and whoever else. Come on now. Kamala Harris, there's a freak if there ever was one. Yeah, you can be vice president. Yeah, Kamala Harris can do that. You can be vice president. We got the goods on you. We got the goods. We already got the dirt on you. So if you ain't got no dirt on you, yeah, we can't really do nothing with that. We can't really do nothing with that. So, yeah, this is why the new black media had to come into existence, because this is the old black media. And yes, I meant what I said. All them niggas they were with, all them names, and you dig long enough, it ain't going to be too hard to find it. Yeah, there's a bunch of folk out there. They know the damn dirt. They know what's going on. So, nigga, you can't really say anything. First of all, you're not really with us. When you have all these LGBTQ folks They just want to get some dark-skinned folk who their priority is not black, though. The priority is not really black. They ain't really trying to have that. That's not really what they're trying to do. So they just bring on some folk who sit up here and toe the party line. And that's it. But they're not doing anything beyond that. So it gets left to us. So now I think we're starting to get some insight into what kind of folks these are. I think we're getting some insight into that. I really do. I think this explains a lot of this. That you got folks sitting up here whining at us and nagging at us. And they've always got these split agendas and split priorities. They say the word black at the beginning of the sentence, but then they end the sentence talking about LGBT, illegal aliens, and every damn thing else except us. And just that quickly, all of a sudden, to me, it looks like, well, hell, here's a big-ass puzzle piece. Not that we didn't already suspect it, but a big-ass puzzle piece. It's like, okay, that all fell into place. No wonder we can't get anything done. No wonder these folks spend years and all they really do is beg for money. No wonder they're willing to overlook anything that the political party does to them.
Damn!
No wonder they're willing to sit there with you with this crazy, insane refutation and disputing of physical reality. No wonder Roland Martin can look in your face and say, it doesn't matter if the Democrats do nothing for you. You better show up and vote. It doesn't matter if the Democrats promise you nothing, offer nothing, say nothing, do nothing. Hell, if once they're in power, if they start targeting you, it doesn't matter if they target you. You better vote for them regardless. And it's like, what? How the hell is he sitting up here ignoring all of this? What sense does it make? What is wrong with you that you're ignoring what the Democrats are doing and just saying, it doesn't matter what happens, vote for them regardless? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute now. Because if they got pictures of you on the pole with the leopard G-string thong on, wiggling that booty meat, and it's like, okay, well, that explains a lot. That explains a hell of a lot, doesn't it? Well, no wonder you talk to us crazy and irrationally. No wonder you tell us just ignore everything the Democrats do. Even when you're directly confronted, he doesn't give us a reason to ignore it. He just says, y'all niggas is stupid. Y'all need to just vote. Shut your dumb asses up. And it's like, dude, what kind of battery you got in your back? And then you found out the battery wasn't in it. Okay, over here on Zoom, I got Crystal over here on Zoom right quick. I got Zoom open here. By the way, if you've been instructed by my mods to call in, it is not just a suggestion. That is an order, and they've already been banned. So please understand, tonight we are all the way ready for it. All the way ready. All right, we got Crystal here on Zoom. Crystal, unmute yourself. Lower right-hand corner, lower left-hand corner, rather. Microphone icon, lower left-hand corner. Oh, this newfangled technology has her tripped up. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. I promise if you press it, it'll be on.
I got it. It's unmuted.
There you go. All right. What is on your mind?
What's up, Jason? I didn't say nothing. I was in agreement. I think my leg hit the button when I turned around. It was by mistake.
Okay.
I think I reported your channel by mistake. I promise. I was in agreement with what you were saying, though.
Okay.
I appreciate you, and I'm happy to have met you. I hate that I met you this way, though.
You look like Amanda Seals.
What?
So I don't know. Well, I will keep that in mind, y'all. She looks like Amanda Seals, so I'm like,
Amanda Seals, who's that?
What's she saying? Who is that? Okay, it sounding agency, but okay. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Yeah, y'all, it's looking like Amanda Seals all right. So these are important questions. These are important questions because doesn't that just tie up everything into a nice, neat little bow? Doesn't that just tie up everything into a nice, neat little bow, y'all? No wonder we can't get nothing done. The only people that they hire are bed wenches, coons, and every damn body else. Doesn't this just explain everything? Doesn't it kind of just explain everything? That they just have this irrational refusal to confront these things. We show them all the stuff the Democrats are doing to target us, Joe Biden of all damn people, and yet he's perfectly okay with all of it. No matter what we show him, there's no evidence, no assault on us, no offense against us that ever sits up here and turns him against them. Nothing that they ever do. He doesn't have a problem with any of it. And then you're like, well, how in the hell can you be all right with that? And then you find out somebody in the chat room said Joy Reid is next.
What? Damn! Nigga, what?
All right, Joy Reid, you better go use a little bit last that MSNBC money and go patch up them holes. Yeah, somebody said Joy Reid is next. Okay, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Joy Reid need to go ahead and just disclose that on the front end. Yeah, hey, Joy Reid, they letting you know if it's out there. All right, don't get too slick at the mouth. They'll be like, hey, was Simone Sanders at your place?
Damn!
Okay, then, them folk watching. If anybody came to visit you, it's like, okay, you know. Oh, you know. Okay, I got to address this. Oh, man, he was in a woman's home, not his wife's. And on the one hand, it's like, Roland, that's kind of foul. On the other hand, how the hell did Roland? I don't believe this because now you have to convince me that Roland got a side chick.
Lie. Nigga, what?
All right, you're going to have a tough time convincing me that Roland, you should have known that was a setup. Who the hell going to be your side chick? Who the hell going to be your side piece, Roland? You should have known that was a damn setup. Yeah, the way he was holding Kelly Rowland hostages. Man, you thought you qualified for a side chick? You didn't think that was a setup? You thought you really genuinely qualified for a side chick? You thought she liked you for you? I'm like, okay. All right. I can hear Roland now. That's the problem with you damn fools. Y'all don't know. Women love a man with power.
Nigga, what?
I can hear him now. I'm a man with power and influence. So, yeah, that's my thing is, I had to address that. Who in the hell told Roland he could have a side chick? Who told Roland that you qualified for that? He didn't think that was a setup from the beginning. I would love to be your side chick, Roland. And he's like, okay, everything fine. You know I'm an alpha, Q, whatever. You know that. Okay. Oh, man. Not gonna be the thing. Not gonna be the thing. Yeah, y'all. I'm just saying, is this part of the Epstein files? I don't know. Is this part of the Epstein files? I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that Roland, this timing is hella suspicious. And we done told all of y'all for years, man, y'all can, quote, play the game and all this stuff, but when these folk get ready to come for you, they coming for you. When they get ready to come for you, they coming for you. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh man, this is not a good look. Well, I don't have to speak up for black folk. I'm going to take care of me. I'm like, okay, now they're out here taking care of you. So I got questions. I got questions, folks. I got questions about that. I got questions about how in the world this stuff is happening, but I do tell you that folk know your lifestyles. When you in these circles, they know your lifestyles. They know how you live. They know what you like to do. They know what floats your boat and gets your money. They know what you do. They know what you do. Simone Sanders' husband he's the nightlife mayor of New York, mayor of DC. It's like the mayor of DC nightlife. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? That sounds mighty swingerish to me. So I'm just letting you all know, these folks know your damn sex habits if you want to be in their circles. They know if you got a taste for zaddy, for daddy, what? Or whatever. So that's the top of their list, is they want to know, hey, are you sexually compromised? They want to know that. They want to know that part right there. That's the part they want to know about. And these folk will gladly tell them. They'll gladly tell them. I just want y'all to know they know what they do. That's the only way they're going to elevate you, is that they know full well you're grimy. Want to talk about butt broken? No wonder Roland's never brought that subject up before. What? By the way. Little ominous that he never brought that subject up before, but it's like, okay, this explains a lot, don't it? Let me just address this other part here. Y'all, marriage don't mean anything to these people. I thought y'all learned that since Rock Hudson. Even if he is married, which I don't know if he is or isn't, marriage don't matter to these folk. Show me somebody that matters to over there on their side. Andrew Gillum, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. Who the hell? Your wife is just the chick sitting over here. She is not a factor. These people got fake ass marriages. They're roommates. Got a whole husband at home and go straight to Oprah's yacht. And here come her and Gayle King walking out the bottom of it there with desire and treachery in their eyes. This is what that's the kind of person you have to be, man. You got to be somebody down for the freak off. You have to be somebody down for the freak off, man. You can't just be a straight person who take care of your business. It's like, yeah, that's not scandalous. You have to be into children. You have to be into same sex. You have to be into transsexuals. You have to be into drugs. You can't just be a regular vanilla sex person. That ain't gonna make it. You have to like hookers and prostitutes. So it's not enough for you to just like vanilla sex. That ain't gonna make it. They gonna be like, yeah, you ain't good enough. And then you can't figure why it is you can't get these folk to answer the phone. You can't get an invitation. You can't get anybody to like anything. Then you wonder why that is. You wonder why it is that you can't just be community conscious and you just can't be a person concerned about the community and get out the vote. You wonder why it is that you can do all that stuff and yet these people still won't roll with you and they won't do anything with you. You wonder how it is you can be the new black media with hundreds of thousands and millions of followers and views, and yet these folk over here, it's like, yeah, we don't really fool with y'all. It's like, now, how in the hell is that possible? It isn't possible unless there are rules. And you are in contradiction of their rules. Oh, now it's possible. Now it is. It's not that you did something wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You just ain't did enough wrong or the right kind of wrong. And that's when these people sit up here and show up. I just want y'all to know I'm showing you both sides of this. And forget the salacious stuff and forget that right there. All the clickbaity stuff, I ain't worried about that. I'm just like, by the way, if this is true and factual, if this is true, I'm just saying, do you understand how many things this would explain if this is true? And I'm not saying it is. I'm saying, Roland, you need to get the hell out here and say it ain't true. You need to get the hell out here and debunk this quick, fast, and in a hurry, nigga. Oh, Roland, you need to debunk this quick, fast, and in a hurry. But then again, folks, I'm just saying, all the way from CNN, Chicago, Atlanta, now DC, I'm like, are you really surprised to find out that these Democrat shills and Democrat insiders, all of them are the same? There's just the ones you got the goods on and the ones you ain't seen the goods on just yet. But folks, they're all like this. They're all like this. There's a freak off somewhere. There's a freak off somewhere with your name on it. It's not limited to just the elected officials, the people in the media. Man, it's not just limited to them, man. It isn't. When you inside, you got to be inside. They're not letting that go. When you're in, you got to be in. You got to be in. So this is how we end up sitting out here and whatnot with a whole bunch of folk not doing anything and a whole bunch of so-called black reporters and so on and so forth. You know, that kind of thing right there, man, that means something. That means something. Let me show something here. Let me show something here. I want to go ahead and show this to you all. Let y'all know that, by the way, this is how this stuff really goes. Y'all want to know how the hell they get their jobs? You want to know who it is they're hiring and why it is you can't get hired? You want to know why that is? Let me go ahead and remind y'all, this is a recent story. This is a recent story that was put out here. Yeah, this right here, y'all. New York Post. In case you weren't aware. By the way, this is a thing right there. That's a thing right there. Ex-CNN anchor Brooke Baldwin gets stunningly candid about her sex life. This is what they doing. Yeah, you want to know how they get their jobs? The info babes, you want to know how it is that they leapt to the front of the damn line? You want to know how they did that? You want to know how they were able to make that happen? And this is what they do. And what you find out later is like, the whole damn so-called newsroom is like that. Okay, but not just the so-called cute ones. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, but she's sitting there, she's all done up, you got your eyeshadow on and whatnot, and then she's letting you know, by the way, and y'all know I love sex, if I may be so bold, I'm pretty damn good at it. Oh, really, Brooke? Do tell. Can you feel me? Yes, ma'am, do tell. But then again, I'm wondering how many of your co-workers at CNN knew this also. And y'all know I love sex, if I may be so bold, I'm pretty damn good at it. She added that she had previously written that, quote, sex to me is like oxygen. What? Freak! And said that she had been upfront that she is, quote, not looking for a serious relationship right now. Quote, so casual sex, it's very much on the table. I've thought about it a lot. These are your CNN anchors. She's not the only one. What do they do to get their job? What kind of person do they have to be? Hello? So yeah, they want to know what your freak is first before they give you any access. They want to know what's going on first. And then we might see about some other things. So for those of you who may have tried to get a job at these TV stations or these cable TV networks and whatnot and can't figure out how it is that you're qualified but can't do nothing, all right, in the chat room, yeah, one of her co-workers, yeah, just the whole it don't just stop with them. It don't just stop with them. It doesn't just stop there. No. Mm-mm. And it's not just as CNN, Fox, Headline News, ABC, NBC, CBS. Yeah, Joy Taylor, who has the sports talent of a soup can. However, yeah, that didn't prevent her from getting the job and getting elevated. Now, did it? And over here with us, man, we desperately need this. Everybody got to be on point. Everybody got to be legit. We can't have anybody sitting up here false flagging and running game. That's what we can't have. So if you got folk, man, if you got access to Kamala Harris, you need to ask some real damn questions. We don't have time for your silly ass sitting up here trying to pay your rent so you can put on some Fruit of the Loom rainbow draws on. Man, forget that damn mess. You got a chance to talk to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump. You need to ask some real damn questions. You need to ask them, they might not never let me speak to anybody in the Democrat Party ever again, but I'm standing on 10 toes. We're going to deal with this today. You don't sit up there and start acting like Steve Hambone Harvey. When you do have an opportunity to talk to these folk directly and put our issues front and center on the damn table. Everybody else, their media is sticking up for their issues, and then we got a bunch of buck dancing ass super freaks over here on trying to represent us. And then you wonder why we ran your asses clean off the block. Then you wonder why it is we ran your asses clean off the block. Charlemagne did more for us, damn it, when he talked to Kamala Harris than any damn body else by putting the issue front and center. These niggas show up and don't ask a damn question that's worth anything. And then they come back to us and say, oh, well, we talked to him. Well, you know, you got to vote for Kamala. Don't matter what she is or ain't offering. Well, as long as she's not Donald Trump, it don't matter what she is or ain't offering. So doesn't matter what she's saying. You just got to get with the program. It's like, okay. And then y'all wonder why it is they talk to us crazy like that. And then you see this. No, this image is not real. This image is AI. However, this image is this image is an illustration of what some folks have claimed is this image is a drama. This image is a dramatization of what some folks have claimed is. Yes, this is my AI artist rendition of what some folks are claiming. And what I'm saying is I don't give a damn about the salacious part of it. Forget the salacious part. Forget the gossipy part. I ain't on that. I'm not concerned about that. What I am concerned about is, by the way, have you thought about those things for a few moments? Have you thought about those things for a few moments? About the serious implications of this? Because the serious implications are, by the way, no wonder we can't get the old dead-ass black media. No wonder we couldn't get them to do anything. Now, remember what we always said, y'all. We always said that they were paid off. Remember that? We always said that they were paid off, and we always said that they were compromised. Remember? We always said that the old black media was being paid off. And then you find out Roland has literally gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Democrats. They're paid off and they are compromised. So you find out they got hundreds of thousands of dollars. They get money over the table, probably under the table too. And then you find out that, by the way, they got all kinds of goods on them. So no wonder that only the compromised are the only ones that are allowed to get near them, because they know he better not say the wrong damn thing. He better not say the wrong damn thing, because it can go down. So there's a reason that they've wanted to bury and destroy the rest of us. There's a reason for that. And you're getting an inkling of that here. How it is that over the course of decades, we were the only ones speaking anything and saying anything. We're the only, this nigga was giving the Democrats, it was and is giving the Democrats a straight pass. Whatever the Democrats do, he giving them a straight pass. Now it all makes sense, or at least now you got tangible evidence about it, or at least allegedly tangible, which I'm like, Roland, anytime you want to come clear that up, you are more than welcome to do so. Don't let anything stand in your way. Get dressed first. What? However, you might disagree. Therefore, we're going to go ahead and open up the link to the Zoom here in the chat room. It's open here live. You are more than welcome to give us a call if you wish. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out to Nancy King. Thank you very much for your support tonight, Nancy. We appreciate that. To Ronald, to stay positive. Kind of hard to do that sometimes, but we're going to do the best we can. To my man, Mr. Richburg, Mark B., Tom Slick, Sir Shai Mahako, New York Cloudness, and everybody else who has contributed to tonight's program. Thank you very much for your support here. We are the grassroots. We are the soil. And no, I don't have to get the Democrats to pay me off. When you're supported by the soil, when you're actually supported by the people, you don't have to sell your soul unless you want to. You don't actually have to sell your damn soul unless that's what you want to do. We're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we will take you all's calls and some other things here. This is the Black Channel.
Be the teacher, knowledge on the block. Got the kids learning, minds open like a lock. Books and skills from the east to the west. Bringing education, yeah, we're simply the best. Classes on fire, brains burning with desire. Innovation driving like a tire through the mire. Math, science, history, we got the whole range. Kids hitting new heights, teachers making a change. Used to be the teacher, stacking up the grades. Future bright shining, no need for no shades. Got the youth thriving, moving up the ladder. Smart and sharp, brains growing fatter. Lessons so lit, yeah, they stay in a blaze. Every mind sharp like a sword in the haze. Mr. B in the house breaking knowledge chains. Education kingpin, we repping the gains. Used to be the teacher.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the anchor man of the Black media, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this weekend. And for those of you who are late, this is what you get for being late. So next time you need to be there. So I will let you read what's on your screen. Tasha K claims that she has been contacted by concerned citizens with breaking news, so I will let you go ahead and read that for yourselves. And of course, there is the giggle factor to it. Of course, the jokes write themselves. They write themselves with reckless abandon. They certainly do. They write themselves with reckless abandon and killing force of velocity. But there's also an aspect of this that isn't so funny. I'm not talking about the gossip part of it. I'm not talking about none of that part. I'm talking about the part of, by the way, I do see some things in here that would seem to explain a lot about the constant, perpetual, chronic trouble that we have consistently gotten from these people. That they'll be sitting in our faces with politicians not just undermining us, but openly working against our interests, and yet they ain't saying nothing. They're not saying anything. I'm just going to address this. I'm just addressing this from the standpoint of if this were a factual thing. That's all I'm doing. So that nobody can accuse me and not being completely charitable on this. I'm just approaching this from a factual basis. It's like, okay, man, you know what? Roland, this is a good time for you to just go ahead and put all your cards on the table. Pause. Niggas need to just come on out and just say what they really about and just admit to it. It just needs to be there. They just need to go ahead and admit to it. You're compromised. The folks got goods on you. Y'all been living double lives and all this old mess here. Y'all need to just come on out and be with it. Come on out and just tell the folks and confirm to the folks what they already know. Just go ahead and do that, because the false flagging and faking, there's the damn problem. Go ahead and just let folks know that, hey, Fox News has their coons and shills and the Democrats got theirs and you're one of them. And go ahead and just put that on the damn bricks and let us be done with that. This kind of thing right here is the kind of thing that lets you know that, by the way, it makes a whole lot of sense why it is they only let the certain folk into the damn room, and they've been there for decades, man. They've been watching them for decades. You know, when you think about the old black radio and the old black television, so-called news media, I mean, it lets you know that's where they monitor you. They're watching you there before they ever allow you to come up. They're watching you there. They watch you for an extended period of time. They want to see if, when you're under the old black umbrella, are you really somebody who's fighting against the system, or are you really just trying to make as much noise as you can so you can get hired by the system? That's what they really want to know. They want to know whether or not you really revolutionary against the system, or are you just looking to improve your position within it? And what they know is that if your priorities are LGBT, it's like, okay, he's not fighting anything. He's not trying to disrupt the system. He's just trying to get as good of a little spot in it as he can get. Okay, but then you're going to come out and they're going to claim you represent the rest of us. When they want to, quote, talk about black folk, then they're going to go get you to be their spokesperson, to be allegedly the spokesperson for us. When you don't give a damn about black folk, except to the extent that you can use it and you can exploit it for your own personal gain. But when it's time to get a big microphone and to tell Kamala Harris to her face that if you will not stand for our issues, we cannot support you. And it never would have gotten that far along. See, y'all got to understand, for those of us who they done felt us out, pause. For those of us that they checked into it and realized, yeah, he ain't really gonna show up for the freak off like that. He's not really going to be at the freak off. It's like, okay, folks, they're just like, all right, you're public enemy number one. See, this is how I ended up getting pulled over in the middle of the Arizona desert and on Interstate 95 and on Interstate 5 and on Interstate 65. There's a reason why I'm getting pulled over and everything getting yanked out the damn car. No, I've been one of those people a couple of times. Y'all go on the side of the road and the police are tossing the car and searching everything. That's been me a few times. In case you didn't know, that's been me a few times. Never found anything. Obviously, I'm sitting here talking to y'all. Never missed a program. They never found anything. Now explain to me how the hell I can get yanked out of the line at the airport every time I go through, and I can get pulled over for absolutely no damn reasons whatsoever on multiple occasions, never found anything on me, and how in the world can that happen so damn consistently? Well, yeah, they're looking to catch you with something, man. They're looking to catch you with something. They're looking to catch you slipping. They're looking to catch you compromised. They're saying to themselves, you can't be this damn clean. You must have some drugs. You must have a boyfriend. You must have some pictures of some little kids. There's got to be something that you're into. gotta be something. That's what it's really about. They are making the assumption that you gotta have something that they can use. And okay, if we couldn't get you no other way, let's just do some illegal stuff on the freeway. And okay, gotta call them slipping. It's like, no. Everybody's not like the boule. Everybody's not like them. And oh yes, I would be remiss if I didn't say that, by the way, yeah, this is why we don't fool with them. The Divine Nine and all that stuff, I wasn't making that up. All that booty line dancing they do.
Nigga, what?
All that booty line dancing that they do. It's like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense then. I mean, y'all remember Roland been talking to niggas, they got paddles on the wall behind them? And I'm just going to go there and say it. Now, if you saw one of them pictures of Baphomet, if you saw one of those pentagram stars on the wall behind them, if you saw the pyramid with the eye on it, you'd be like, oh, wait a minute. You'd all be like, wait a minute. Okay. You figure you just know the stuff on the trip to Epstein's house, but wait a minute now. This nigga got a whole paddle on the wall behind him. Wait, hold on a second. Y'all can't just have a plaque or a trophy? You got a whole damn principal's office paddle on the wall? Grown men? What the hell is this? Because let me just lay this out on the line. For us straight men, we have no desire to close proximity to another man's butt cheeks. We ain't really, for any reason. Yeah, that's not even really something we're thinking about. I mean, for zero reasons. Like, as straight men, we don't even slip during the day and think about something like that. You know, sometimes you have errant thoughts that just kind of wander into your head or just out of nowhere. I promise you, for all the straight men in here, that's a wandering thought that doesn't just pop in our heads. That doesn't just show up. That's not really something that we encounter. We really don't. And we sure as hell don't go looking for it. But yeah, y'all, these little cats over here, you start seeing these little signs. It's like, hey, it was sitting in front of you the whole time. It was sitting in front of you the whole time. No, I'm not roasting. No, this is not a roast. I'm just giving the facts of life. These things were sitting in front of us the whole damn time. It sounds like a roast. I'm just reporting the news. Niggas got paddles. They booty line dancing. They smacking each other on the ass. Oh, when you think back over it, hell, the proof was sitting right there in front of your face. They want to do all that stuff right in front of us and then got you dismissing it. Oh, well, folks just, oh, no. No. Like in pro sports, nigga, you can pat me on the back. You ain't gonna slap me across the butt. What the hell? No. Talk about blowing up the damn Super Bowl. I'll be damned. I'm like, okay, I'm through playing games. He smacked me on the rear end. I'm turning around swinging. I don't care if it's a teammate. You and I are obviously not on the same team. No. So we don't even play about that. So they got you all witnessing these things in real time, witnessing bathhouse culture and suspect stuff in real time, and then getting you to dismiss and disregard it. Then when something like this blows up, it's like, well, actually the proof was all sitting right there in front of your face the whole time. It's like, oh, well, I thought it was this is what they do. Cognitive dissonance and get you to disregard things, including blatant evidence sitting right in front of you. Oh, well, it can't really mean what it looked like. Can't really mean what it looks like. Yeah, it does. It can. So, yeah, y'all, I want y'all to understand that. Going back decades. You thought it was limited to Hollywood? And then you're shocked and surprised to find out that ain't nobody getting out clean? No, y'all, not even him. What? Then you thought Magic Johnson was the only one with... You thought Magic Johnson and Dwayne Wade were the only ones with those kind of issues. Okay. Oh, man, am I saying it tonight? I might not get invited back to the damn barbecue this time. I got to watch what they're not going to like me over there. Okay, well, yeah, y'all, even him. Even him. No, Jason, not him. Yeah, all your Hollywood black male movie stars. Not him. Yeah, him too. I don't never remember him wearing the dress. Okay, you haven't been keeping up lately, so. And then you see how the daughter turned out. So it's like, yeah, bro, they managed their images to make sure you don't find out about this stuff. Eventually it comes blurting out. And when it does, you find out it was a damn avalanche. It's like, oh, hell, it wasn't just one thing. No, they were just good at concealing it to you until they couldn't conceal it anymore. So they got you thinking it's just the movie industry or maybe just the music industry. It's like, no. Everybody that they give quote unquote access to. No, this is what you got to do. You got to do it, and they want to make sure that they got that before you get anywhere along the line. They're not going to give you some rope first and then find out if you compromise later. No, you have to be completely compromised first, and then you can get a leg up later. But you have to be completely compromised first. In the chat room, Broman Peak needs to give me a call on Zoom. You got 2 minutes. Broman Peak's very glad you're asking questions. The chat room is not the place to ask questions. You can ask questions, however, directly to the host. So since you've asked that, so glad you did. You got 2 minutes to be on Zoom. Let's go ahead and get up at them. Very glad you have so much you want to ask. Very glad you're so concerned. Front and center. Because, of course, you're not about to show everybody that you're an illegitimate coward and liar. You're not about to do that, right? So, let's go ahead and get that taken care of here. Oh, some of the folks in the chat room is like, no, not him. Okay. Some of the folks in the chat room are like, no, not him. They're doing the ugly cry. Yeah, him too. No, Jason, not him. Yes, him. Yeah, him. Nobody? Nobody. Nobody. No one. They're not going to open that door unless they got you compromised. They're not opening that door without it. They're not. Because once they've empowered you, you are a free radical. What I'm about to go into here next, it might sound a little bit, esoteric, but take a look at the music industry. Everything was just rolling along and whatnot, and then Ice Cube decides, yeah, forget this, I'm doing my own thing over here. When that kind of thing happens, you've empowered them, you built them, they got credibility. Now they have enough power to rebel. Okay, did you get an insurance policy against rebellion? Because when you empower them, they now have, if they have the ability to start making their own bag and making their own rules, what's to prevent them from rebelling against you? They're now strong enough not just to rebel, but to challenge you and overthrow you. So what good is a business model that builds up that which can destroy it? In comic books, you got Image Comics. The 7 top artists from Marvel left and went to go start their own comic book company, and literally a few years later, Marvel Comics was filing bankruptcy. That's what happens if you build somebody up and then they go rogue. They've got enough power now not to just challenge you, but to overthrow you. So no, they want to make sure that that kind of thing can't really happen, because they've seen the nightmare scenario of what occurs. So no, that they're only going to empower people who are not going to challenge them. It doesn't matter if their work is subpar, mediocre. It doesn't matter. Not to them, because that's not why they brought you here. They brought you here to perpetuate their power, not to amass power of your own. So we talk about these kind of things like this, and everybody's on the same damn page, and yet these so-called black media people, it's like they're off in a damn world by themselves. They're literally arguing in direct opposition of our interests. They're literally arguing in direct opposition of the interests of the black community right in front of our faces. And the politicians are sitting there cheesing. And they're sitting there just towing the line. It's like, wait a minute, what the hell did they offer you that's got y'all doing that? And then you find out, oh, it's a bunch of things. But most importantly, they made sure that this individual here, the only thing he's got in common with you all is skin tone. Other than that, he belongs to us. Other than that, he belongs to us. She belongs to us. They belong to us. Van Jones, they threw him $100 million. Y'all, Van Jones since then he doesn't have a negative word to say about Donald Trump. He doesn't have a negative word to say about the Democrats. All this nigga does is sit up here and promote the system. That's all he does. All Van Jones does now is promote the status quo. Yeah, that's what $100 million bought you. He was certainly articulate enough and capable enough to be able to make a platform of his own. And they're like, yeah, here's this $100 million. Now don't even think about doing that. Don't even think about it. And he took the bag, and you ain't heard a peep from him of trouble since. That's what they're doing. Now, Van Jones was considerably more expensive than Roland. Obviously, Van Jones was considerably more expensive. But by the same token here, there was the whole thing I told y'all the whole time. Niggas come cheap. A couple of them are more expensive, but these low-level niggas, they come cheap, man. They come cheap. Byron Allen, niggas spent years asking, well, Jason, are you going to talk to Byron for one of your documentaries? I mean, I wouldn't turn it down, but I was saying from the beginning, it's like, yeah, you never heard me really big up in Byron Allen and whatnot. You never heard me do that. And slow bus niggas was sitting up here upset with me. Yeah, because you want to believe something. It's like, okay, did you kick the tires and check the pedigree or anything? Nope. Okay. I just don't like looking silly like that. These folks who get these TV deals, it's like, man, do you understand? You can't name a single one of them niggas who got a TV deal who ain't got some certified coonery in them, even if they've been in one of my films.
And deal with it, nigga.
I said that. So just understand what the hell the landscape is. No, you don't get to do these things unless you're compromised. They might not have pictures of you with a goat, but you got to be a coon. You got to be unreliable. You've got to be into something else. You can't be 10 toes down for the people. You can't be 10 toes down for the people. That's not something you get to do. If you start doing that, it's like, okay, they're like, we already got the goods on you, so don't even try to be doing that. There's a reason that goes round and round. There's a reason that goes round and round. So once again, I am not vouching for the validity of these said statements. I'm just saying, by the way, yeah, you really need to come clear this up real quick so we can have a different conversation. We can have a different conversation. It just seems a little bit to me like somebody's applying the Epstein pressure at this point. And there's one other thing. This kind of came out of nowhere, seemingly. It better be the only one. I'm just going to tell y'all right now, if somebody else comes out like talking, it's like, oh, Roland, you done upset somebody. Just understand, folks, sometimes these things start dripping. Remember, folks try to assure you, oh, don't worry, it was only one. It's like, okay, one is enough, but yeah, remember Graham Plattner and all these other folk, Andrew Cuomo, and next thing you know is here comes the Epstein list. So I'm just letting y'all know here. It's like, okay, if this is an Epstein situation, look for others. Look for others. And by the way, I'm not promoting that. I'm not cheerleading that. I'm not sitting up here stomping for it. I'm doing none of the above. I'm just letting y'all know that, by the way, Roland, if you have terminally upset these people and they're like, you know what? We think you've outlived your usefulness, then be looking for other shoes to drop. Be looking for other shoes to drop if they decide you've outlived your usefulness. If they're like, okay, dude, you've had all this time now, you're squawking too much, you are too expensive and too unresourceful. We're not getting really any return on our investment from you. If they've come to that conclusion, y'all know what happens next. Okay, time to scuttle the ship. If they're not getting anything for it and you're talking a bit too much and you're talking about we're already giving you hundreds of thousands. Next step means you want millions. It's like, yeah, let's go ahead and scuttle this ship. Let's go ahead and do that. Once again, I'm not advocating for it. I'm not wishing for it. I'm not calling for it. Not at all. I'm just letting you all know that if this is an Epstein situation, if it goes that way, as the anchor man of the new black media, you all know that I give you the news before it hits. So just to be aware, I couldn't help but notice. I just want y'all to know that if this comes and just goes away, that was a shot across his bow. If this happens and then something else follows up behind it, oh boy. It's like, oh, Roland, that's not accidental. If this happens and then something else happens after that, this ain't accidental. Somebody's trying to send a message. If you see something else like this fall out the damn woodwork here shortly, it's like, okay, y'all recognize that for what it is. Somebody's sending you a message now. Not calling for it, not asking for it, not advocating for it, but I am letting you all know honestly, yeah, that's the way that goes. Now, if you don't hear anything else, they were shooting a shot across his bow to let him know, okay, you still want to keep going at us? Nigga, this is the mafia. Once you're in, you're in. Yeah, you ain't on CNN anymore, but we still got a receipt for your ass. So once you're in, you're in. You don't get to come back later and start back talking. We don't do that. So if they decide a shot across the bow to let him know, hey, bruh, anytime we want to come in on you, we can come in on you. Anytime we want to do that. If you don't hear anything else and this quote goes away or they stop talking about it, I want you to know, okay, that's what it was. And they were letting him know. And by the way, watch what he does. If all of a sudden he's all rah-rah, sis, boom, bah for the Democrats, he puts on his pom-poms and cheerleading and everything is about how bad Trump is and no more talking about the Democrats, is like, okay, message received. Folks, it can only go one of a few ways. So if they do that and all of a sudden he stops back talking and doesn't have anything else to say, it's like, okay, message received. It's like, yeah, you need to ease up with all that pressure you trying to apply because you belong to us. I'm not even advocating he needs to say anything about it, though I do think it would help to clear this up. I think it certainly would help to do that. So, but if he doesn't, that's the other thing. If he doesn't, it's like, okay, there you go. There you go. And now you have to ask yourself how many others there are. How many others are out there? How many others on YouTube? How many of them working for these other so-called media outlets? How many others who have all been such feckless, incredibly loyal and reliable flunkies? How many others are there? I'm neither confirming nor denying. I'm just asking some questions. I wonder how many others there are. And what did they get offered and what did they have to do? How many of them are out here pretending that they're speaking for us? In the chat room, it doesn't matter if he talked to Al Sayed. The real thing is, did he talk to the folks who really matter? Because Al Sayed is the Democrats don't like him. So I would expect for Roland to give, if he did talk to Al Sayed, then I'm expecting that he gave Al Sayed a hard time because the Democrat establishment does not like Al Sayed. They want that woman, what's her name, Katie, whatever her name is, they want her to win. So Al Sayed is actually on the outside. They don't want him to win. So yes, I would actually suspect that Roland would have asked a bunch of questions of Al Sayed that he never would ask of any of the approved Democrats. Yeah, I mean, if you're one of the folks who's on the inside, we will take care of you. You'll make an appearance and your job is really just to do your stump speech. Yeah, but we don't want a stump speech anymore, damn it. We want questions answered. And the other thing is, did he ask any questions in relation to us and our interests? I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe for a second that he asked any questions about us and our interests. I don't believe that for a second. Although I am pretty sure he probably gave Al Sayed a hard time, because the Democrats want to know that. Although if he didn't do a good enough job, they might be like, all right, send some photos. Yeah, Roland, he took it easy on Al Sayed. He didn't give him hard enough time. Send the photos. Go ahead and leak the photos. Yeah, he's been talking bad and stuff. He's been back talking, and he's trying to shake us down for some money here. So leak the photos. Go ahead and leak the photos. Let him know we're willing to do it. Go ahead and leak the photos. It's a dirty ass game, y'all. It's a dirty ass game. That brings us to the next point here. Roland, this better all be fake. This better all be a lie. This better all be, this would be worse than what Cardi B did. This better be that kind of situation, bro, because if it's not, what does this say for playing the game?
Nigga, what?
Y'all, if it turns out that all of this is legit, what does this say for, quote, playing the game? All these folk who spent decades telling us that we were the silly, alias simple Simon for fools. Okay, what are you doing? I'm playing the game. Okay, well, are you winning the game? What does this say for playing the game when this kind of thing happens? What does it say for playing the game if this is the result? If this is accurate and if this is legitimate, what does that say about this playing the game thing they always keep wagging their fingers in our faces about? Because I'm just letting you know, a nigga like me, I'm like, okay, hey, I ain't playing no games. I'm going down swinging. I ain't playing no games. I'm not playing no damn games. I'm not playing that with you. We're going to come straight up the middle. No, I don't do pre-approved questions. Yes, I'm going to ask you what I want to ask you when I get there, and I will ask in the interest of my people. I don't give a damn where you are at in the polls. You might be 10 points up. It's not my job to keep you there. It's my job to ask the questions that are of pertinence to my people that everybody is ignoring while they're trying to shame us and denigrate us and guilt trip us into voting for them. And all we end up doing is supporting people who, as soon as they get in office, they go straight to work undermining us. Let me go ahead and take this as a moment to address somebody else here, as a matter of fact. You know what? While I'm doing that, let me go ahead and get this up here. Let me go ahead and get this up here, as a matter of fact. We might as well go ahead and do that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that here. Let me see. Yeah, I want y'all to understand something. Let's go ahead and understand something here. Let me go ahead and get this up here. There was recently an interview done by Cori Bush. She used to be a congresswoman out of Missouri. They talked to her on breaking points. And I want y'all to hear this because there's an abject lesson in here. Now, she lost her seat a couple years ago because AIPAC threw a bunch of money behind that fella from Ferguson, Missouri. Remember, he got on the city council in Ferguson after Mike Brown got killed. He got on the council in Ferguson, and then next thing you know, he goes straight to U.S. representative. So that lets you know, it's like, yeah, they follow these people for years. They make sure you in the bag for years. You are bought and paid for assets. I want you to hear what she says during this interview, by the way, because she wants to get her old seat back. Okay. but I want you to hear something. Fair use breaking points, by the way, fair use.
That's what happens in Congress. Once you are a part of the Democratic caucus, then the caucus supports.
Okay, well, let me back this up for just a moment here. Because he asks her about the fact that, hey, all the Democrats are backing your opponent. They're not coming to support you. Listen to what she says.
To discuss, Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
You got it. So what did you think when you saw that the former House Speaker was going to venture all the way out to St. Louis to prop up Congressman Bell here?
Oh, that's regular. That's like a Tuesday. That's what happens in Congress. Once you are a part of the Democratic caucus, then the caucus supports you as long as you are the incumbent. Any of the members of Congress, but especially the leadership or former leadership, they will go and travel and stump for you. It takes me back to when Nancy Pelosi stumped for the one and only pro-life Democrat in the Congress after Roe fell. So still, they were stomping for that member of Congress because once you are an incumbent, the caucus rallies around you, whether they like you, whether they don't like you, whether they agree with your politics or not. As long as you are a Democrat and you are in the caucus, they will come out and support you.
Well, that's interesting, Miss Bush, because if that's an accurate statement, how did you end up not getting their support? So all of this just sounds incredibly odd now. So this doesn't sound negative about the Democrats at all. This all sounds incredibly odd, actually, in retrospect, ma'am.
So I'm not surprised.
Although there's a certain level of energy that they bring to some defenses of some incumbents and some defenses of others. You were first elected in 2018, and then when you faced a challenge or you first elected in 2020, first ran in 2018 and then won in 2020, and then you faced a challenge from Wesley Bell, and the party, you were an incumbent, and so the party did endorse you. But didn't really pull out all the stops to try to intervene to tell AIPAC, for instance, like maybe don't spend $10 million against our incumbent here, or tell other Democratic consultants don't work for people who are challenging. Because when Justice Democrats, for instance, was supporting yourself and others, the Democratic Party said, okay, if you work for any of these candidates, you will be blacklisted from participating in Democratic Party politics for the rest of your life. They could do that on the other side. They didn't do that. So when you were facing a challenge as an incumbent, what level of support would you say that you got compared to what Wesley Bell's getting now as an incumbent?
Okay, well, there's an interesting question there, because it's like, by the way, ma'am, okay, if they just support the incumbent, well, you were the incumbents, and that didn't seem to help very much because they went to war against you. So why she's talking so different now? That's interesting. What did she say to this?
So one thing that could have been done differently is people could have gotten involved a lot sooner. And also, the conversation being, hey, AIPAC, don't mess with our colleagues. And hey, AIPAC, don't mess with these two members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Why are you coming for Black people? Like, what is the thing? Why are you coming for Black progressives? Like, is there a reason behind why you chose two Black people to target with millions of dollars? And so that should have been the conversation. I know part of the conversation was, oh, Corey, you won your last race with such a great margin that you'll be fine, even if AIPAC puts millions of dollars against you. You're beloved in your community. You'll be fine. We know that is not true. I knew it wasn't true at that time. But what support we did have, there were robocalls from from Hakeem Jeffries and Catherine Clark, the House Whip, came to St. Louis to rally with me and did a couple events with me on the ground before the election. I believe it was like the Friday before the Tuesday election. So we did have that support. We had members of Congress, several members of Congress, to come to town. But as far as the leadership, that's what we saw.
So you ended up losing by just a few thousand votes. And for people who don't follow this closely, when AIPAC gets involved in races, they almost never mention the issue of Israel in their actual ads that they spend millions of dollars. And it may be never, except maybe to an isolated couple of neighborhoods. But on the television ads, never. And so the main ad that I saw going around last cycle was accusing you of kind of betraying President Biden because you had voted against an infrastructure bill in an effort to strengthen the Build Back Better.
Okay, the reason why I'm letting this play for you all, I'm not just doing this for no reason. I'm letting that play because I want you to hear what the preface was, because she's going to give an answer. And the answer that she's going to give is really very interesting when you think about it in relation to everything else that she said here.
Agenda, because the kind of centrists in the party were trying to cleave off the infrastructure bill and stop the rest of it from passing. So that was a kind of a sleight of hand that they used to try to draw some daylight between you and President Biden. But they don't really have that this time around, or are they going back to the well? So, like, what are the ads that they're hitting you on this time?
So they're just trying to throw anything at the wall to see what sticks. It's like, oh, let's see how we can try to denigrate a human being again and hope that that works, because enough people, don't like activists and people with that type of background. And so let's just throw anything at the wall. Right now, what we're seeing is Cori Bush missed X amount of votes in Congress. So she doesn't deserve to go back to Congress because she missed votes. But the deception is real, because they know that the missed votes that I had were from the 2 times that I had COVID in 2023, as well as a time when I came home for a funeral of a close friend that may have died due to exposure to radioactive waste in our community. And so that was the majority of the votes that I missed in Congress. And so, no, I was not going to be a super spreader like, our current congressman, his MAGA friends who came to Congress all the time saying, hey, I have COVID. They wouldn't wear a mask, but they would show up and walk around the chamber. No, I wasn't going to do that. And so, yes, I missed days. And actually, Ryan, the total of those 2 bouts of COVID in 2023 of days missed during that time was less than 8 days. So, they're making a whole ad, about this just because they're trying to deceive the community.
Right. I wonder if.
So what she's saying is the Democrats didn't have time to step in and help her with that, Then nobody made a phone call before. They didn't do that. Nothing. Oh, they always support the incumbent. Okay, they always support the incumbent. Okay, great, wonderful.
If that's landing, do you hear when you're out in the community or on the doors, hey, I hear you don't vote. You didn't show up for your votes. Is it because if you spend enough money on something, it'll people will see enough YouTube ads that they'll at least know it. Do you hear about it, or do you think that's sticking?
A few people have mentioned it and said, hey, this doesn't make sense, but then when we tell them exactly what happened, then the opposite happens. Then they're upset because they're like, why are they saying this? Are they trying to trick us? So then it's having the opposite effect with a lot of people, because people are wondering, well, if you're supposed to be my representative, why can't you tell the truth? Why can't you make an ad about what you're going to do? Why is your ad, trying to deceive us about somebody else in our community that is actually your current constituent? So it's having the opposite effect. So we put out a video to make sure that people know what's being said and what the actual truth is.
And speaking of ads, I wanted to ask you about this rather kind of unusual thing that Wesley Bell has been doing for a couple of cycles now, which is using footage from the office of the leading kind of defense attorney who has, he defended Eric Greitens, this really like it. You.
The reason why I'm playing this is because Corey was letting you all know here that, by the way, the Democrats got their hooks in these folks for that. They got their hooks in them for it, and they're saying things, and they're showing back up here, and I'm all for folks wanting to be in Congress and things. That's perfectly fine. However, my thing about it is, why is it that they're not speaking up quite so loudly for some of these issues here? Why is it they're not speaking up quite so loudly for that? I want to go a little bit further here. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because I wanted you all to hear what the wind-up was. I wanted you to hear what the wind-up was, but then I want you to hear what the pitch is. So I think we've been fair, Miss Bush. I think we've been fair, but there's really something that I think needs to be addressed here also while we're at it.
Getting outspent, so heavily. How do you feel now going into the election compared to how you felt last time, where you had more money, but people didn't really know what AIPAC was, and you're just seeing like millions upon millions being spent against you?
It's a totally different race. Last time it was tough. It was heavy. We were it was like we were bombarded with all of this, this negativity, all of these, ads and this racism and misogyny war and sexism. Like, it was just every.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for that right there. Right there. Uh-huh. Yeah, she's real soft-spoken on the Democrat Party, but she wants to let you all know that she knows who the real issue is.
So heavily, how do you feel now going into the election compared to how you felt last time, where you had more money, but people didn't really know what AIPAC was, and you're just seeing like millions upon millions being spent against you?
It's a totally different race. Last time it was tough. It was heavy. It was like we were bombarded with all of this, this negativity, all of these, ads and this racism and misogyny war and sexism. Like, it was just everywhere.
Okay, for some of the kids out there who may not be familiar with some of their feminist terminology, misogyny war. In other words, that's black men hating on black women. What? For those of you who may not remember that term, although I can't blame you for disregarding it, but by the way, yeah, she was okay right till she gets there. So she wasn't saying misogyny war, it's misogyny war. So for those of you who may have forgotten some of your black feminist talking point pet terms that they created during the pandemic, yeah, there's a throwback for you. So black men were somehow responsible for her loss? Are you kidding me? Black men are somehow responsible? This is a sexism, hating on black women issue? Really? Now, I'm going to stick by what I've been saying here the entire time. Wesley Bell is obviously a flack and a shill. Everything they say about him and AIPAC is 1,000% true. However, I will also say that Cori Bush has not done herself a bunch of favors by how she's been behaving here. And I'll let you all know her office is very well aware of my program. her office is very well aware of what we do here in the New Black Media. And it sounds to me like yet again another so-called insurgent black politician who figures they can do this on their own and they have no reason or motivation to appeal to the New Black Media. And I'm like, okay, I want y'all to understand it's not because they don't know us. It is not because they don't know us. It's because they're making other calculations. They're making other calculations now. And so I just wanted you all to hear directly from her. I'll let that first part play so you can see that, by the way, she's obviously not holding a grudge about the Democrats not supporting her as an incumbent last time. She was really downplaying that. And then when you get there at the end, by the way, the real issues last time was racism, okay, sexism, all right, misogyny war, wait a minute. So if you all were wondering here, by the way, Cori Bush's campaign is very well aware of us. Let me say that one more time. I keep emphasizing that to let you all know, oh, she's very well aware of us. And they went to go talking to white media outlets, you know, just like Jamal Bowman. What? Damn! Oh, do I need to remind you all about that? Jamal's office never got back to us, for those of you who may have been wondering. Just in case any of you were wondering or curious, Jamal Bowman never got back to us. So nobody can lie and say they didn't hear us. They didn't get a very clear message. Oh, everything got through at the beginning just fine. And I'm just like I told the young woman, I'm like, you know, the Democrats know full well who I am. They have a whole file on us, not the Epstein files. I'm in the other folder. What? Yeah, I'm not in the Epstein folder, y'all. I'm not in the Epstein filing cabinet. I'm in the other one over there. You know, troublemakers, malcontents, you know. I'm in that one. I'm not in the Epstein filing cabinet. And, yeah, they're aware. They know. Am I saying names? Look, in the New Black Media, sometimes we have to play things a little bit differently here because, you know, it's easy to be a bull in a china shop and just say things. I'm not saying things to just sit up here and get clout. I'm not saying things to just sit up here and be seen. However, every once in a while, I am going to give y'all a follow-up on these things. Okay, that was in the air. Yes, you all did hear about that. Yes, Jamal Bowman's people in office, he was contacted directly. Yes, he was well aware of it. No, shut that down and never got back to us. Now, Jamal Bowman has been on breaking points.
Nigga, what?
Jamal Bowman has gone on breaking points and talked to them. And now Cori Bush, the other one who got kicked out, now she's been on breaking points to talk to them. None of them made their way over here to talk to us. Now, can somebody explain to me logically, in a manner that makes sense, why would that be? Maybe someone can explain to us in a way that makes sense, why is that? I mean, if they got races to run and whatnot, you figure they would be going everywhere. They would put a microphone in front of them, especially if you're up against the colossal wealth of AIPAC. And yet, there are certain microphones in places that they are making a conscious effort to avoid. Why is that? Just wondering, by the way, these folks who need as much exposure as they can possibly get, why is that? I mean, these are folks who claim that they're on the outs with the Democrats and they're trying to reclaim their seat on the porch. And yet, Now, they can't lie and say they don't know us and hadn't heard of us and hadn't been in contact with us. They can't say that one. So, what's the real reason? What's the real reason? What's the real reason that these people do that kind of stuff over and over again? Why is that? What's the real game that they're playing? Why is it that whenever we peek under these things, when we just peek right behind the curtain, why is it that every time you have one of these so-called black media representatives, black political representatives, why is it that when we peek behind the curtain, if you will, here, even behind the shower curtain, why is it that you find a living white woman or some black boys or a white man, or maybe someone can explain that to me about why that is. About why that consistently is what we find. Not some of the time, every time. That's a consistent thing. Or you find some closet LGBT feminist. Why is it that that's what you consistently find? And how is it that the Democrats just keep being so damned unlucky that those are the only people that they support for office? Stacey Abrams, Andrew Gillum, I'm not going to run down the list. Y'all know the rest. Why is that? Not to get off the subject here, but in the chat room, in college basketball, all the chicks ain't lesbian. Isn't it amazing? But when you get to professional women's basketball, suddenly everybody's lesbian. Is that just a fluke, or is there a filter that's keeping folks out? Oh, I'm sorry. Too much reality? Truth bomb? Did I drop a truth bomb already? Yeah, any fella who's been to college, ask your kids in college. The women's basketball team isn't full of a bunch of lesbians. The female basketball teams in college aren't full of a bunch of lesbians. Okay, to all the short bus kids, I need a sound drop. For all the short bus kids, you can name the non-lesbians in the WNBA on one hand. So for all the short bus kids in the chat room, Bebe needs to give me a call up on Zoom. You have 2 minutes to be on Zoom, Bebe. Very apropos name, by the way. You have 2 minutes to be on Zoom. So let's go ahead and, since you want to take that there, that's perfectly fine by me. You got 2 minutes. Y'all got to understand here that before they open any major doors, if you have to go through them, it's like, oh, wait a minute now. We need to make sure we got that taken care of. So, wait a minute. Let's make sure about that. Let's make sure about that now. Wait a minute now. Who do you like to date? Are you bisexual? Are you bi-curious? Are you bisexual or are you bi-curious? They want to know about that. Let's be very, very clear here to Bebe Kid. You're not here to comment in the chat in the room anymore. You need to be on Zoom. You've been timed out for 5 minutes, but you only have 2 minutes to call in before you're banned. So, yeah. You only got a minute to chat and a second to make it to the phone. Well, that's bad math for you, bad juju. No, look, when you say things like that and it triggers some, there's some closet studs and whatnot, they don't like that. So it's Some females are not secure in their sexuality. These things trigger them. I get that. I understand that. You don't have to be triggered about it. But you're not going to comment anymore until you call in. So you had a lot to say. You'll have nothing else to say until you do that. Look, I mean, some of y'all chicks were in the showers in college and whatnot, and some things went down. What? Damn! Okay, don't be triggered about it. They're getting real triggered. They're trying to defend themselves. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm just saying that. It doesn't have to be that way. So don't get too angry about that. I know it's unsettling. I get it. But you don't have to be like that now. Don't worry. You're safe now. You're not stuck in that shower anymore. You're safe now. So, well, at least you might be safe. I'm not sure. Okay, whoever Linda is on Zoom, you need to make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on. YouTube is not going to see you. But just to make sure we don't have any trolling issues, because we're not here to take trolls. We're just here to talk to folk. Make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on. You have 5 seconds to take care of that, or we're going to have to move on. Okay, Linda, hello. Oh, I recognize those crazy eyes. Okay, Linda, let's not do that, ma'am. I won't ask you again. You'll just get banned. I mean, I'm just going to keep it real with you. So let's not do that.
How you gonna say you recognize us?
Okay, there you go.
I have to stay on?
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. She's all pedigreed out here. She looks like female Teddy Pendergrass over there, all sultry. What? Okay, ma'am. And what's on your mind?
Oh, you told me to come up. I'm Baby.
Okay, hello. Okay.
I'm Baby from Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay, hello, Baby. I'm not going to ask you about Baby's kids now. You want to say something?
I don't have no kids.
Okay, ma'am.
Now.
You have something to say, ma'am?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I was asleep and then I heard that I heard your comment. I'm like, wait a minute. It's a couple of them that ain't lesbians.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions here, ma'am. Please tell me, what is the inside proprietary knowledge that you have about Angel Reese and her dating history? Go.
I'm not even a sports fan.
Okay, but you used her name. I'm not talking about sports. You're the one who invoked her name, so you need to stand by your statements. You raised her name, so I'm telling you to substantiate why you said that.
Oh, because I just saw today Angel Reese and her boyfriend. I know that girl Asia's dating Bam.
Okay, do you know what her dating habits were when she was in college, ma'am?
Do you, sir?
Second time, you invoked her name. Do you know her dating habits when she was in college?
Do you?
Okay, last time, you invoked her name, which means that you have some inside knowledge about her dating history in college.
You don't either.
Ma'am, you don't know what I know. That's why I'm asking you. You're the one who invoked her name like you have some knowledge or authority about it. With what authority are you making those statements?
Because I saw that she had a boyfriend.
Okay, that's today, ma'am. I asked you about before today because there's plenty of lesbians out there who play both sides of the fence, so that's not new for you. You were in the military, you know that.
Lesbians play both sides of the fence, or are they bisexual?
Okay, ma'am, you're either straight or broke and you ain't bent. So I know some of y'all in the military might have been playing grab ass. I get it, but no, ma'am, you're either straight or broken. If another woman has seen you naked, just the rest of your life is in denial of where you've been. So that's the way that goes. Oh, y'all, her eyes popped open when I said that. Are you sure? Are you sure? I thought so. Are you sure there's something you don't want to get off your chest?
I was in the military. We had to shower together in basic.
Okay, were you staring a little bit long? You're looking guilty.
No, I was embarrassed.
Okay, you're looking guilty as hell right now. So it seemed to me like you might have been staring a little bit long.
Don't do me like that.
Okay, she got triggered. As soon as I said that, y'all, her eyes went big as saucers. I said, "Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the guilt. There it is.
Hey, there's not guilt.
Yes, sir. She's got unresolved issues from them days right there, boy.
No, I don't. Well, no, I was uncomfortable from those issues. But no, they're not all.
You have no authority to speak on that. You have no information or proof.
No, but
whatsoever.
I will say this. I will admit this though. I went to Bastrop High School, and then all those girls were lesbian. That was high school, but it seemed like it was a mixture at college and the WNBA.
Okay. Well, without you all having any authority to speak with that, that's really a bunch of conjecture. I'm not going to go any further about that because I'm not really here to add to any rumors or whatever about Angel Reese. I will say this, however. Let's just say that what you are suspecting or guessing is 100% accurate. Do you know how many women there are in the WNBA?
I'm not a sports fan.
Okay. All right. There's literally like 100 of them. And how many of them ain't gay? You can count them on one hand.
I'm not a sports fan.
Okay, you're talking like you are.
No, I just heard what you said about all of them, and I just knew she was some of her boyfriend.
Okay, Linda, are you getting your military pension?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the retired military folk are just bored, y'all. They just sit around looking for stuff to get into. They make phone calls. Don't let them get drunk. They just start dialing and speaking to people. So if y'all want to know where this is coming from, that's where this is coming from. So
it's not.
Okay.
I was just taking my nappy poo, and
okay. It's a Saturday night. Why are you alone?
Why am I? Because I'm taking a nap.
Okay, you're light skinned and alone on a Saturday night because you're argumentative. That's what the reason is.
I am a tender brown. I am not light skinned.
Okay. All right. No, don't turn the light on now. It's been off all this time.
I'm not light skinned. Okay. I'm brown.
Ma'am, you are light enough. You and Stacey Dash are in the foot race.
Now you're
in the foot race for which one of you is cookie colored.
I am brown, and I have locks.
Okay, well, Stacey can have some too. She gets her hair wet, so I'm not going to speak on that. But I am going to say it's a Saturday night. She's argumentative. Oh, and she's a nurse, and she's a nurse too. So it's like, oh my goodness.
I'm a nurse practitioner. I sure am.
Y'all,
so you are very proud of me. But another night we're gonna have a serious conversation about FBA and some other things, reparations.
I'm not gonna have light skin privilege argue on my phone. So.
Get off my phone!
Let me go ahead and do that. Yeah, these retired military folk, boy, they be giving me fits. They be up in the night. They just say stuff, and it's here we go. So, oh boy, sometimes it's tough being me. Sometimes it is tough being me, man. Y'all don't know. All right. She's not a sports fan. Okay, she running a damn mouth. So she's sitting up here arguing. Okay, well, substantiate your argument. I can't. Really? Hurry, step right up to be a mate to this fella. She's arguing with you. Well, ma'am, what's your proof of that? I ain't got none. Wow. Your statement's false. Okay, what's your proof that it's false? And I said so. Okay. So she figures she's got nice veneers. What? She's like, okay, I got nice veneers and nice nails, so and clear skin. She got nice veneers and nails and clear skin. So it's like, yeah, but she'll argue with a stop sign. So, all right, let me see if I can find somebody on here with some sense right quick. Oh hell, struck out again. His brother Elijah on the phone. All right, Elijah, what's on your mind?
Hey, B1 to you and the family, big brother. Big brother, thank you for tonight's broadcast. Brother, when I see this fat, nasty motherfucker, excuse my language, roly-poly Martin, when I see his body, I don't see an image of a man. I see a male with more estrogen than a woman. And it's no telling why he was around those women at that in that meeting, and our good brother Jason pulled up on him in Chicago, and he didn't have none of that smoke. But he pops all the types of shit on his program every single day, telling us who to vote for. And this might not be such a common sense question for many people. My question now is, after seeing this, regardless of who's putting this video out there, why the hell, excuse me, I was going to say it, why the hell will we listen to a nigga like this on anything? That's my first question.
Well, all I will say is that this sure does put all those pictures with all them females that he kept trying to sit up here and put in a headlock all these years. it sure does put those pictures in a brand new, in a different type of context. Because what I'm saying is that there are men who are comfortable around women, and then there's Roland Martin. You know, it's just when you see every picture you've seen with him with a female, it doesn't look comfortable. It doesn't look natural. It looks like it's just real awkward. I'm not even joking. We all seen the pictures and we laugh at him because it's like, okay, this isn't comfortable. This is just hella awkward. How can you be hella awkward in literally every picture? You know, that's the part right there that really kind of strikes me, is that you don't have any, as a black man, we supposed to be relaxed as hell around females. It's in the genes. We're supposed to be relaxed and laid back as hell. And Roland Martin, it just looks all creepy, and it looks like, or that he's not taking it seriously, and the women look hella uncomfortable. That kind of thing right there. It's like, why is that so consistent, man? Why is that so consistent? I'll let you have the last word.
Hey, brother, I want us to cut the BS, all right? Let's just cut the chase. This is my last word. Cori Bush, I'm not talking about you when I say cut the BS. I'm not talking about you. You know that, big brother. I want us to cut this shit. What is she really trying to run back for Congress for? Let's cut this shit. What you really want to go back there? Did you like the money? Did you like the under the table deals you was getting? You wasn't doing nothing for black people while you was in there that whole time. So now we're gonna let this gorilla face witch get back in there. At least I can say this with this Sambo Wesley Bell. He at least he looks young and agile. This woman looks like she looks like a gorilla face bitch.
Well,
right?
I'm not gonna put all that on Cori Bush. What I will say is, because like I say, I mean, there were probably some things in there that she would probably be good on. Okay. Here's my issue.
Yes,
my
sir.
issue is that she has not done enough to touch base with the soil here. She really hasn't. And this very disturbing practice where these folks want to run for office and they want to do everything except talk to the people. They want to do everything except talk to the community. They want to do everything except do that, especially if you're trying to rerun for Congress for a race that you lost. You figure you learn from that and you're pulling out all the stops. And what I'm saying is that it's exactly the opposite of these circumstances. So as far as what does she want, I mean, it's all the above. I mean, if you can get to Congress, it's a pretty cushy job. You got great insurance and you don't have to work but a few months a year, and you don't even have to show up in person, to be totally honest.
Of course.
So there's a lot of benefits that go along with that. And I'm not going to say that she was useless or whatever. I'm not going to say that. I certainly think that, you know, she talked a good game in a lot of regards. However, I don't go on that either. This would have been an opportunity for her to really dig in, because you figure if you got this much ground to make up and AIPAC has not forgotten about you. So they're spending like what, 30 million this time or something like that, some crazy ass number. Last time it was 8, and this time they spent like double digits, I believe. Yeah. So what I'm saying is they haven't forgotten about her. You figure she would be, I mean, brutally sensitive to what you need to do to shore up, you know, support for yourself. And what I'm saying is I'm seeing some obvious areas that have been overlooked and dismissed and ignored here. And these are issues where you would do yourself a lot of good to come speak to the people. Because Cori has spoken, you know, I think she spoke out in support of reparations. Okay, that's good.
A gesture, big brother.
Well, okay. Well, my real thing is the first thing you have to do is support us verbally. That's the first thing you have to do.
Yes,
so it's just like I was saying to Roland Martin and the rest of them. I'm not expecting her to pass a law. I'm saying, can you even bring yourself to say that you support reparations in principle? Forget whether you can get a law passed. I want to know where you stand on this. Do you support our position in principle, regardless of a law? There's nothing stopping you from doing that unless you are just against it. So in her case, I will say that, yes, in principle, she does support reparations. Okay, all we call that is a good start, because we got a bunch of other folk out there who pretend it doesn't even exist. So I'm willing to give credit to that. I'm not saying go vote for Cori. What I am saying is it would be disingenuous of us not to do that. I need y'all to understand something. I understand Well, like when I have you all call some of these elected officials and stuff, y'all be calling up and cursing at them, and if y'all MFs don't let him out of jail. I'm like, okay, calm down, y'all. Please don't call these people yelling and cursing and going the nigger route. Don't do that. Now, I understand a lot of y'all sitting on frustration and things. I get that, but no, that's not helpful to us. And when we talk to elected representatives, you don't want to take that as an opportunity to vent either, because that's not really making your case for you. The other part of it, though, is that give credit where credit is due, because the other issue becomes if they do exactly what you've asked them to and you didn't acknowledge it, then what's the incentive for them to go out of their way to continue, doing that? You see what I mean? If you're going to respond the exact, slow down. If you're going to respond the exact same way, no matter what they do, you're killing the incentive for them to do otherwise. So we have to do our part as a constituency to keep an active, conscious, accurate record. If they've spoken on our issue, we have to keep, every time they speak on it, what did they say? What did they do? Don't pretend they didn't do something that they did, and don't pretend that they did do something that they didn't. That's our responsibility. Now, she has supported that. She's spoken in favor of it. Okay, that's one down, 534 to go. 434 to go. And that's just the reality of it. So let's give them credit where credit is due. Let's not down them for stuff they didn't do. And let's give them credit for the stuff that they did do. That doesn't mean go vote for them because they did one thing right. But don't say they didn't do something that they did.
Yes, sir. Big brother, you just real quick, brother, you had that guy 2 years ago. I was watching you right before the election night of 2024 in Bitchware. Okay, that guy came on your program saying all the nice stuff, just like his presidential candidate was running, because he was running as her vice presidential. He was saying all the nice stuff, then the bait and switch, constant bait and switch and everything like that. And maybe I'm just at a point where, with all due respect, big brother, we're kind of, if you're in that position, you kind of need to go a little bit harder.
Yes.
Because there's a reason why she did not get the full Black community support. You saying lip service, great, wonderful, but you need to go harder. Hey, what's your legislation?
Well, no, I mean, you're absolutely right about that, is that making one statement in support of this is not enough. You're absolutely right about that, which is what I've always taught you all, which is why I'm saying we're not stopping there. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying tonight is, in her case, Corey, I will give you credit for what you said. Yes, however, what have you done for us lately? And if you're not even speaking to us, don't pretend that something you said 3 or 4 years ago is just going to be evergreen in our minds, and we're just going to hold on to that like some love-struck schoolgirl pining for some dude she hasn't seen in a couple of decades, like the movie Titanic. So yes, if you're going to say you support these things, my response to that is great. Now come back over here so we can dig into this, so that we can start fleshing out some particulars, because when you talk to the Jewish community, you can't just say I support Israel. The whole point of AIPAC is they want details. We're so glad you support Israel. We're so glad you've been to Tel Aviv. Now let's discuss all these details. When you say you support the MAGA, the fundamentalist Christian right, gun owners, they don't just stop as, okay, they support us gun owners. Wait. Do you support concealed carry, open carry, constitutional carry, magazine clips, AR-15, sight scopes? They want details. What do you support? We are going to be no different. So that's the step we're at now. I acknowledge what she said. However, you are correct, which is why I'm saying tonight, she has not come back around so that we can refresh the file and refresh the conversation. As a matter of fact, they're actively avoiding it, which is the point I was making. So at that point right there, it's like, no, you don't get credit for making a statement. You get credit for taking a position. Once you said you agree with us, that's a statement. However, that does not constitute a position. There's the issue. And right now, with such blatant refusal to even speak to us, That kind of thing right there, that's what lets me know it's like, okay, I think we've heard enough. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, look, I want you all to be fair. Be fair. If they acknowledge your position, don't give them credit for what they did do. Don't fabricate something that they didn't do. Give them credit for what they did and no more. And it's like, okay, well, I did that. What more do you want? We want you to come back so that we can discuss some particulars, because you made a statement, but now we need to make sure that everybody is on the same page, that when you say that you support our position, that we're all clear on exactly what that means. That's the point. We want to make sure that it's exactly what that means. Let's go ahead and jump over here in the chat room here. Back on Zoom. Let me see if we can get D up here. D is running around and whatnot. He's usually doing that. Wake up, dude.
Oh, go.
All right, D, what's on your mind?
Hey, my bad, man. My bad. But what's going on, though, is this is bringing up a larger conversation of how it is that there are people in our society that are making it seem like these people are serious. The Roland Martins, the Joyanne Reeds, the people that have to go through, certain doors and certain gates. And that's the most dangerous person. The person that is telling you that you're not a serious person because you're on YouTube or you're on, Substack or whatever. You need to be doing what these people are doing. This is who you need to aspire to be. The people who are on TV, the people who are put up on TV so that you can aspire to be some kind of lifestyle, as we're discussing with, the sex scandals and all that. It's the people in, your own family, your neighborhood. It's everyone like that tells you that your ambitions aren't serious, but the people that are on TV, that's what you need to be doing. So you're bringing up a great point with, it really doesn't matter, who they put on TV. They're still not they're only gonna, support Black issues just for the surface of it. They're not going to actually go into reparations like you're saying. So yeah, Roland Martin's no different than anyone else.
The thing is, it's not just about reparations. We have a number of different issues. We have a number of different things, and none of these really get hit on or harped on or focused on. They got folk hosting these shows, and it's really just this inside the beltway wonky conversation in real high-minded political terms. It's never in street level terms. It's never in grassroots terms. But then again, when your host is married to a white man on CNN, it's like, well, no wonder we can't get them to actually speak on this. This is not about trading jabs with her white colleagues on the damn panel over here. If you're not putting this in very clear contrast, stark relief, that, by the way, a lot of this is happening in so-called Democrat cities, with Democrat politicians backing it, with Barack Obama sitting up here. Barack Obama is a villain. Barack Obama is one of the bad guys. As a matter of fact, he's one of the worst of the bad guys. And yet, if you talk to them, you'll be acting like black folk love him and this, that, and the other. It's like, no. And I want you all to understand, they don't want to have that conversation, because cable television news is what legitimates these things within the Beltway, for example. Now, don't get me wrong. You will have somebody who's a wrecking ball, like Tucker Carlson, or somebody like that. If you got it, but then again, where did he get his clout from? He didn't come from the internet. He came from cable television. So the folks from the outside trying to move on things and make things happen, in the Beltway, they kind of try to pretend that doesn't exist. Once you got it on TV, it's like, okay, you already know it's saturating online. Once you have it on TV, it's gone everywhere. So then they have no choice but to accept that this is the reality, because a lot of them are boomers or old and whatnot, and so they're not really internet savvy to begin with. I'm saying all that because they're going to try to convince you that it doesn't exist otherwise, and that conversation's not occurring. That's why the politicians will go to the cable TV networks, and then they'll let those become clips that get distributed online, as opposed to going to the outlets that are online and speaking to that. And nobody's going to speak to our issues except us, because what we want to do is actually in conflict with what these other people want. That's the issue. What we want is actually in conflict to that. If we get empowered, everybody else is asking, well, where do we go? What happens to us if you all are no longer kept down anymore? That's a real serious conversation to have. And then when you start having that conversation at the grassroots level, not about racial policy and social justice and academic terms like we're talking to a bunch of Mark Lamont Hills, when you start talking about specific things, like, for example, okay, in Chicago, I can't say New York City because we're well past that now. In Chicago, you got Lincoln Yards. Down there in Atlanta, now they're starting on Centennial Yards. You're talking about, 100 damn acres, prime real estate. Now, as black men, we can't be contractors going in someplace and don't make sure the white folks going to be all right with whatever we're doing. How in the hell are you doing this in the middle of Atlanta and you haven't made sure that the black population has a firm grasp on whatever in the world is going on here? Or is this going to be yet another multi-billion-dollar white-controlled economic stronghold where the black folk can't be there, where you can come to be customers, but you don't have anything there? For example, black folk don't live around Lenox Mall. Nigga, before y'all even start lying, don't even try it. Lenox Mall is a big piece of real estate, but there's the mall on this side and the hotels on the other side. Prime real estate, but it's all a bunch of businesses, expensive real estate, bunch of businesses. So you can only come there to spend your money, but you don't actually benefit from all that economic development. That's the issue. And so you're building out these whole cities in Atlanta and Houston and Dallas. And what do we own from it? And that it doesn't need to be no damn open secret. What exactly is going to be our inheritance of this? And should you be allowed to spend that and build that if it's not? Because they block projects all the time that they don't like. They just black folk want to do something. They block projects all the damn time. Why is it that your so-called elected representatives are not making sure that's the case where you are? This guy is talking about he wants Centennial Yards to be like LA Live in Los Angeles to anybody who's been there. And what I'm saying is, okay, that's great, that's grand, that's wonderful. Where's the black district? I need to know that. You got a Chinatown, you got a Greek town. I sound like Dr. Claude Anderson. Okay, where's the black district going to be here? Okay, you don't want to say black, that's fine. Where's the urban? Where's the hip hop? Whatever word you want to use there. Where's the foundational here? Where's the black district here? So that when this prime real estate goes up, we benefit from all the things that happen to that. Why don't we go ahead and just say, okay, you can have a hotel, but we're going to choose who's going to be the hotelier. We're going to choose who's going to be the franchisee of it. Y'all know that happens, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know that? Perfect. Let me go ahead and explain that to y'all how that works. Downtown Los Angeles, Wilshire Grand, also known as the Korean Air Building. You do know that the building belongs to Korean Air, and they built this the bottom 40 floors are office space, I believe. It's bottom 40, not 30. Yeah. And then the top 30 or 40 are the hotel. Well, IHG operates the hotel. They don't own the building, but they operate the hotel. Downtown Shreveport, Louisiana, we built the convention center, which was actually modeled on Atlanta and other cities because they had convention centers. So we built a convention center, but the planners were like, okay, it has to be a convention center and a hotel. You're going to need to have all that together. Downtown Shreveport, we did that a couple of decades ago. We built the hotel, but then we contacted Hilton to operate the hotel. So the hotel actually belongs to the city of Shreveport, but Hilton is the operator of the hotel. And what I'm saying is that, okay, Hilton operates it. Now, why is it you got plenty of black folk who can operate hotels in Atlanta. Why is it your city council did not make sure of that beforehand? Okay, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to do this way, right here. You're going to have to do this like this. Why is it that that's not occurring and yet you're voting for these people? Those are the questions that I have, because I got folk talking about, oh, you see cranes all over Atlanta today. I saw cranes all over Atlanta 15 years ago. That's not new. That's not new. You know what I don't see? What the hell do we own? And don't tell me about the black fellow who was contracting for Mercedes Stadium. I want to hear that garbage. What are we doing now, man? How many of those cranes are building something that actually is a part of black infrastructure? How many of them? You want to put a bet on any? That's what your elected politician is supposed to be doing. It's not supposed to be up for grabs whether you're going to get a piece of the action. It's supposed to be guaranteed you're going to get a piece of it. Because if you and me go to Martha's Vineyard, we can't move no real estate up there. They're not going to let you and me move nothing unless they make sure they're taken care of. Or in Boston, or in Manhattan. Shout out to the Jewish community in Manhattan. You ain't going to build nothing without going through them. Okay, what was the 50s, 60s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s in New York City? You ain't going to build nothing taller than 6 stories without the mafia getting with the Italians getting theirs. You ain't going to move nothing without that.
Wasn't it anything under or anything above a 2-story, right?
Oh, and you ain't going to move nothing without that? Nothing. Sammy the Bull told you. It's like, oh, no. You ain't doing nothing without us. It ain't happening. And so that's why I'm saying, you know, if you have a bigger conversation about that, where you start exposing these things out in the open, instead of trying to pretend it doesn't exist, because there's only so far they're going to go. Kamala Harris is not going to go in on white supremacy. She's not going to do that. And to be totally honest with you, I don't really need you to be a spokesperson for it, but I damn sure need to see some action for it. You can never talk about white supremacy again so long as you're acting against it. As a matter of fact, I prefer that. I prefer action over words any day of the damn week. That's the part that's not happening. So these conversations are not occurring in those places, and take a look at the folk that they're elevating to do it, specifically avoiding those. Let me explain to you the problem with Roland Martin. This little butterball bastard sits up here spending his whole damn time talking about colleges and universities. I'm sick to death of hearing colleges and universities. You big bulbous bastard. The last few presidents of the United States of any consequence, what the hell did college do for them? Tell me about Donald Trump's sterling education from the Wharton School of Business. I'll wait. Yeah, show me the high-flying college graduate he is. How about George Dumbass W? How about him? How about most of the folk who are the richest people in the world flunked out of college? Hello, Elon, Sam Altman, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates. Okay, y'all know the Steve Jobs. Silicon Valley, the richest folk in the world, is a who's who of folk who didn't finish college. And so they send their damn butterball shills out here to tell us the conversation needs to rotate around college. And every time they start speaking, they start talking about the damn colleges. Ain't nobody running nothing. That's not running anything. The colleges circuit ain't running nothing. It's nice to have, quote, black professionals, but let's be honest, the academics ain't the ones running the world. Those aren't the ones you're complaining about. The people you're complaining about ran past the damn college door. We're not having that conversation, that the issue isn't, well, if more black folk would go to college, if more black folk would just go to school, that's the stupid ass conversations they got us having. Well, you wouldn't need, we really need education for reparations, because you see, if you just gave them some money, they just gonna go waste it. But if we can get them some proper education and some schooling, well, then see everything. That's the mess they bring us. Okay, but you notice that doesn't happen when they get the white kids together. With the white kids, they go straight to, okay, here's the business we're gonna do. That, they go straight to that. Their television people go straight to that. Uncle, you're old enough to remember. And granted, he wasn't the first, but y'all remember when Kobe Bryant came out of high school? Oh, the white folk were, he's gonna skip colleges, go straight to the NBA. Oh, we all know we should do that. Same thing with LeBron. Now, isn't it amazing? Now, when you're black, if you don't go to college, there's gonna be somebody trying to pressure you. Well, you ain't gonna be worth nothing if you don't go there. They never say that to the white kids. The white kids can leave high school and go wherever they want to and skip college altogether. Nobody says anything to them about that. That only comes up when they talk to us. So they're trying to program you into thinking that should be a priority. without ever showing you where the benefit of that is. And yet for the white kids, they're just like, no, that's a stump speech we give the niggas. You know what's really going on. Without that being a conversation that gets held in the open, especially in front of your politicians, that's where we end up losing there, when that doesn't become the conversation right in front of them that, hey, we're hip to the damn game. Because let me just tell you right now, okay, Kamala Harris, you're from California. Only thing you need to be talking about us about is contracting. You want to talk about college? Outside skilled trades, I don't want to hear it. STEM is great, don't get me wrong, but outside that, I don't want to hear it, because they'll be talking about you going to go take humanities and liberal arts studies and all that garbage. Okay, y'all got a damn housing shortage. The white developers out there in California making money hand over fist, y'all, in case you didn't know. In the Palisades and whatnot, where everything got burned down, then white developers are already out there building multi-million-dollar stuff, man. They're already at it. Okay, while they're telling you, oh, no, you don't need to be doing that. You need to go to college right now. Don't worry, it'll be greater later. It'll be greater later. That's what they're telling you. But they got the white kids going straight to work. And we need to get the politicians on the hot seat and say, okay, we're calling you out on the carpet. We want to go straight to work. And what you've done is you sat up here and gave our tax dollars to Elon Musk. And gave our tax dollars to Jeff Bezos.
Yep.
You gave our tax dollars to them, and then when we show up, you tell us ain't nothing to invest. Okay, but you had no problem, quote, partnering with Elon Musk and building out a damn charging network for him? Why are we not having those conversations directly? And yes, it is a white issue because you cannot name a black equivalent. It's not a class issue. The class is race, because you can't name a single black person who gets that level of benefit ever. Ever. Now that's the conversation that needs to be put in these politicians' faces, and yet never comes up. Not just saying some general statement, giving the exact specifics like I just gave. Now, when you do that, all of a sudden, your ability to argue that evaporates. Ain't that right, Bernie Sanders? When we finally got people to put you on the spot and say reparations is cash payments, all of a sudden you had to actually just go ahead and take your side against us. He had to come out and do that.
He didn't even get to finish the question. If you remember that clip, he's saying like reparation. He doesn't even finish the sentence, and Bernie Sanders just says, no, I'm good on that.
Okay, well, his campaign was done after that. It's just like, okay, we just want you on the record. Now that you said it, thank you for going ahead and saying that. Now we know who not to vote for. And their whole goal is to prevent that moment from happening. Kamala Harris lost from one moment. You expect me to do something just for black people? Okay. One moment. A rising tide lifting all boats. Okay, one moment was the end. Just one. Their whole goal is to prevent that moment that crystallizes who you are. Their goal is to prevent that moment from happening. So that's why they hire these people, to make sure that they don't ask or say anything that creates that moment. Okay, but that's not what the audience is. So they venture outside of it, and somebody slips up and asks you something. Although I think that was deliberate, to be totally honest. So, because Charlamagne didn't talk to Hillary Clinton like that. And there was a whole lot of stuff they should have been talking to her about and didn't do that. So I think it was really about getting Kamala Harris out the way. But what that shows you is they know what the hell to say. Charlamagne's not stupid. They know exactly what to say to get these politicians on the hot seat and put them on the spot. They know exactly what to ask. Oh, your job isn't to ask. Your job is not to ask it. Okay. Right. Oh, yeah, and by the way, how'd that work out for Charlamagne? Hey, y'all.
Yeah,
by the way, how did that work out for Charlamagne? Let me think. Hey, I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor. Yeah. I heard a rumor that Charlamagne got $200 million. Damn! I mean, Van Jones is got milk money. I heard a rumor that Charlamagne got $200 million. All of a sudden, now they want to put $200 million behind what he's doing. I'm sure it's not related. Sure, it's not connected.
You have an opportunity to talk to a politician, whether or not, you believe in them or not. Among other people that don't have the opportunity to talk to a politician while they're campaigning and whatnot. And the question you ask them is, what mixtapes were you listening to in college? You know what I mean? Like you're already, which stations to go to. You know which one, the Call Her Daddy ones. Like, exactly why you're going to these shows. They're not going to ask you anything serious.
Well, I will push back on that a little bit there, because certainly it did go to her cultural credibility. Because the bottom line is that you are a chick who's identified as Asian. So let's ask you some basic questions that any black person from your age group, especially where you come from in California, should be able to easily answer. And she flunked the test. That right there just showed, you don't really have black credentials. So that already raises some serious questions, because we got enough Trojan horse politicians already, and your credentials are in question. So those were actually legit. The problem isn't that she was asked those questions. The problem is she didn't know what to say. That's the issue. That should have been a softball question. And I'm telling you that I think some folks said, ask her this, because she doesn't actually know anything. She doesn't know. She's never rocked with black folks. She doesn't know anything, even the basics. She's gonna be too scared not to answer. So she's just gonna make something up. And sure enough, she tried her best. Everybody knows who Tupac is, but she's like, this woman don't listen to no Tupac. So she didn't even know what the chronology was. She didn't even know the chronology. So that shows you a lot right there. That does show you a lot. So I think that was a relevant question to ask, because it exposed that, by the way, she's got no connection to us. Not even at a tertiary national entertainment level, for the superficial stuff. She doesn't even have that. I mean, the stuff that your kids got from just watching YouTube, they know more accuracy about Tupac than she does, and she allegedly was living it. So that says a lot when you lived in California and you're that ignorant of it. That says a lot for it. So I will always think that it's a very real possibility that was sent there for the purposes of getting her out the way, to making sure that, because she was about to try to make another Barack Obama style run, the little mixed kid who all the black folk filed behind. It's like, wait a minute, but black folk ain't cool on Obama. And they said, okay, ask her some real questions here that undermine that. And she just kept stepping on rakes, and it got worse. So in that regard, okay, I get that. But then I'm also like, okay, well, if you all could ask her questions like that, why didn't we ask Hillary Clinton some questions like that? That would have been real interesting if she's talking to a bunch of black folk here. Why don't we find out about what her connection to us is? Let's find out about that, because, brother, you know this. When they go into the Jewish community, I've been in the Wailing Wall in Tel Aviv and the synagogue, and here's my rabbi friend. And, okay, well, all right, okay, if that's what you do, that's fine. I got a few questions like that for you about us, and let's see if your answers are the same.
Remember, she answered that question, right? She always carries a bottle of hot sauce. That's her connection to the soil, right?
There's a legitimate answer if I ever heard one.
Crazy about that. Like, man. But anyway.
There's a credible response if I ever heard one, even just as a response. I'm like, okay, there's a credible one. I'm like, okay, did Charlemagne feed that one to you before you got here? Now, that right there would have made me want to stop what I was doing. I'm like, okay, let's ask some real questions now. Now I see you playing games. You would have been better off with a Kamala answer. I would have had more mercy on you with that. Now that I see it sounds like somebody's feeding you crazy stuff to say, okay, let me ask some questions they didn't think of. And let's go ahead and get this rocking. 3 strikes, heifer.
And deal with it.
Let's get this 3 strikes. Let's go ahead and get on that.
Super predators, something.
Which once again didn't come up. So, like I say, these people don't get there by accident. They're planted, they're seated there, and then they get rewarded, man. Then they get rewarded. Take a look at all the folk who did this. Van Jones, 100 mil. Charlemagne, 200 mil. Come on, man. Accidental?
Absolutely. They do great work, don't they? They're the beacons of the conversation. 100%. They are leading the charge in whatever's going on.
I'll let you have the last word.
This isn't cute anymore, Jason. This isn't 2016. This isn't 2014 when you're just finding out when, like all this other stuff, whatever. This is 2026. This is fine. Go ahead and have a sex scandal rolling, but, you've done more damage by not standing for the right issues. This is just the cherry on top of like this. This is 2026 now. We're about to approach 2028, 2030. It's about to get really serious with all these people that kept on defending the system. But great broadcast tonight.
Thank you for giving us a call. Yeah, like I say, man, it just shows you that the system chooses these individuals. These aren't conspiracy theories. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not something we heard from somebody else and we're just making it up as we go along. It's not wild supposition. People, we said they were paying these folks. Now they released the documents. Yeah, we're paying them, which, by the way, Roland, that should have been a warning to you also. They sitting up here letting them know who they paying. So, yeah, we said they were paying them. Now you find out, yeah, they've been paying them. And then you find out, by the way, there's even more than that going on. It's like, no wonder we can't get you to do anything right. No wonder. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. No, we're not wide-eyed lunatics. No, we're not just making things up. No, we're not paranoid. They got these people, man. They got them. They chose folk who were compromised, and they spend decades. These are the only folk they're going to deal with because they're the only ones who are compromised. So keep your eyes and your ears open here, folks. I don't think it's going to be necessary to really say a whole lot more here. I don't really care about the gossip aspect of it. However, how this connects to some of these long-term issues we had at a Roland, and those like him, and those like him, and those like him. Damn! It is very interesting to see this come to light, so we'll see what goes on. Roland, got some explaining to do. You don't have to explain everything, except that last part. You would be well served to explain that. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all to the haven of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media. So click that subscribe button, the notification button, so you can join us each and every time that we are here. As you can see, it is well worth your while. If you want to know what the black soil actually thinks, this is the place. And if you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work at blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight's program live or recorded. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future and the future is uncompromising.